Oh, Dylan McGeouch.
What's up, my man? Alright? Great to see you again.
Get the tap off. Come on, you're trying to get a team, get the tap off.
I've not been training for a few months, so I'll keep on.
Tell you what, he needs to get off the trousers because you get water bobbies going on.
Is he? So's his big brother.
Is he?
So's his big brother.
Me and you were fucking up there the twos, weren't we? Some size of both his on it.
Did you ever get showered next to him then?
Aye? Oh fuck no. Wait till you come out there.
Before and after, innit? Before and after.
10-year-old, innit?
Mate, his brother was the same, that's mad. Who's your dad, man?
Oh, honestly.
Sure, good on you.
Do you know what have you done?
Aye, I'm in training with him.
With the hero, Davy Martindale.
Aye, he got in contact, to be fair, a few weeks ago and offered me to come in and get training and use it as fitness and that, which was good. I appreciate it. Do you know what I mean? And get myself fit. Hopefully when I get a team, then I'm ready to go.
You love him, didn't you?
I could keep saying I'm going to go in.
No, I know him, Davy Martindale.
Oh, Davy Martindale, brilliant. I'm going to come in and try to see him. But you know what I was surprised though? I thought you'd have been fucking all sorts of offers before that.
Mate, it's football. I think that's like obviously Scott Allen's the same situation, that you think like, oh, he's had a good career, played at good clubs, that you'll just walk into a club. But I find myself over the summer just kind of, I've had a few offers, but nothing that I'm like jumping at. So I've kind of done the waiting game, and then now I'm at a stage where I'm like, shit, I need to kind of get something sorted. But
that's a great club for you, mate.
I hope I get something sorted soon. It's just.
Is Davey no interested now?
To be honest, I've not really spoke about it. It was just about coming in to get fit and then just see where I am. Do you know what I mean? Like hopefully, I don't know, in football, you know, things change. Do you know what I mean? You might get a few injuries or whatever, and he might change his opinion. But he was just kind of letting me know that I can come in and get fit, and then when I step in somewhere, it'll be good. So.
Peter thought you were going Turkey in the summer, but it was to get the fucking Barnet done that. Look at that thing.
That was a few years ago I got this done.
Was it?
I'm actually thinking about getting back and getting a bit more in it.
Andy's going there, isn't he?
Andy's
he needs it now.
Might go for a wee two for one maybe.
See if you want some proper coaching instead of going into fucking Livy.
Surprised he's not come down.
Yeah, that's where you need to go, mate.
That's where you go. Don't look at the stain right underneath the badge. Don't know what the fuck that is. Can't believe you're pointing to the badge. Yeah,
but he's having Champions League night for the Champions League day for the kids.
Because there's no Champions League on this week, obviously. So
is the man coming done.
She was wondering why they think when it is, but can't let the kids smell
kids will break it.
They walk here early, big kids for that. Can't let my anywhere near it. No, but we are. By the way, what a day. Are you going to pop down this week and see them?
I'm going to come down and see the kids.
Big Charlie's, I don't know if he wants me to say Big Charlie McGeouch come down Wednesday to see them all.
Well, we promise you that bit. Whether you know he comes, as you know, this summer.
But
we're going to talk about it in a bit, but your good pal James Forrest hit 100 goals, and since we're speaking about your ma, we've got a picture of her there when he scored his first ever goal for Celtic.
You've seen this?
You never told me she was at the game.
She wasn't at the game.
She was. Mate, I used to see her outside Park Green every week.
Is that on camera? There's wee Susan seeing James Forrest's first goal.
Can't be her.
That's what it's all about.
Can't he be all the time?
No, if you've tapped
That's brilliant, man.
Mate, it came out on Twitter and I was like, how's your luck? Look who's in the background, man.
It's unbelievable. Mate, how good was he though? I know we're going to go to him, but what a superstar.
Lewis Stevenson's got 100 goals, hasn't he?
He's some record for Hibs, isn't he? But we'll go to him, we will go to him, but it's 100 goals is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, we've asked everyone, how have you been, Kev? How's the eye, hip, arse, back?
Willie's up here.
Next fucked, everyone's fucked, but we're here, we're surviving. But no, fucking all good, mate. Just got a sore night. If I look a bit square, fucking just ignore me.
No, you're looking good.
And have you seen the surgeon? Have you been to see the surgeon today?
Aye.
What did he say?
2 weeks, 1st of November, operation, straight through the neck, take the disc out, replace it with an artificial one, and then we should be back to.
That's risky, isn't it, genuinely?
It's risky, aye, fucking hell. You read that risk sheet and you just think, your arse, absolutely. Thing is, if we miss this bit, this could happen. If we miss that bit, this could happen. If we touch your spinal cord, this could happen. You're like, he says, but we should be okay.
Fuck, say that's heavy, that.
I know, so
hopefully
I need it done
right.
because my quality of life's shocking in there.
Is it?
Aye, just sitting here like I've got my whole arms, pins and needles going down fucking
hell.
That's horrible, mate.
What's the cause of that? What is it?
Just years of probably wear and tear, head on the ball and stuff.
But get the shades on, you got the
Scoots.
Oh, look at this guy, man. Darmer, Jeffrey Darmer.
He's like Jeffrey Darmer on holiday.
Scoots sent me in my scooter, so I was
You're
just...
Bret Hart coming down that street there.
Claffy Scoots, innit? So nice.
I'd love to see you in that, because they match your jacket actually. The fake Hugo Boss.
Oh my God, this guy! Big biker, isn't he?
Jesus Christ.
Big horny biker.
Can you give us a Texans next time, please? Big Texan.
No, who would do with them? It'd be like a Swiss, a skier, innit? An Austrian skier. Right, I'll tell you who's very horny, Grosvenor Sport.
Oh,
they have got double the odds for new sign-ups. Your first £10 bet, sign up at gsport.com/open goal. That's who you gamble on it.
Aye, all the time, man, love it, aye.
Grosvenor Casino?
Aye. class.
Were you a big one for the casino?
Nah, to be honest, mate, I never, man. Nah, I'm not a big drinker, mate. So once it gets to that stage, people start talking about casinos, man. I'm up the road, chipping up the road.
But do you remember when you came to say, I'm sure I could be wrong here, you used to at lunch come in with a bottle of Lucas in a roll ham?
Nah, well, no for lunch, but for breakfast.
Aye.
I did, aye.
It's brilliant, that, innit? Didn't he? Any of the breakfast at the club?
He's a scheme boy, he's been molten
Mate,
too,
it's mad,
innit?
innit? See, when I think back, I used to do that, aye. I used to pass by Lamb Hill and there was a wee cafe on the right hand side. I used to go and get 2 rolls and ham and a bottle of orange fizzy Lucozade.
Why
Is that the
ham?
height?
No bacon, ham?
No, just ham.
Honestly. And I'd sit and all the boys are having toast and scrambled egg and tomatoes.
What, the ham that, like,
and I'm
people
sitting
fart
with
in the packet before they put it in?
2 crispy rolls. Honestly, see the ham, it was that thick. Honestly, it was thick. Fuck.
I got a belter, is it, do you know Rowan's?
Aye.
Oh, I got a ham roll for their Sunday.
There's only one place you get the best salad ham roll in Glasgow.
You didn't have salad on your roll, stop lying.
You do. It's up at just off Cathcart Road. The wee woman sells about 5,000 rolls a day.
How do you know that?
Just because she's been there for
me.
forever.
How do you know it's 5,000?
How do you eat all them?
Because she was actually made the papers. I don't eat all them.
busy must
She did.
She
It's is it Anne's? I can't remember what it's called, but she does like the ham, and then she puts every salad in it: onions, fucking lettuce, beetroot, coleslaw, everything.
Oh, beetroot.
I'm just playing, I'm just butter and ham.
Yeah. So would you walk it, would you throw it to him a ham roll?
Honestly, man.
What would Lenny say? He's a bit.
He's a bit. That's why I always got 2 in it.
Oh, Lenny was on it, man. Lenny was on it. He was
was
bacon
raging.
and everything. Bacon, like.
Who was Lenny?
Lenny, oh, honestly.
bacon.
What, would he ask you to bring your own for him?
No, I wouldn't bring him anything.
No,
I think back, I'm like, what am I doing, man? How am I tripping into Lennoxtown with 2 rolls and ham and a bottle of fizzy Lucozade before training?
No, but your body was a joke, but.
Was it a body a joke?
Oh,
I was just young, do you know what I mean? It just fell right off you after your training, but now, like, you think back, you're like, if a young boy done that now, you'd fucking slap him about, wouldn't you? The sports scientist would have him with a throat.
What were you like when at Celtic when that? Did you batter breakfast and?
Kaz used to walk in with a Milky Way every. That was Paul Kaz's breakfast. Milky Way, mate, and I look at Zed as well. Remember Kaz, mate? Mate, I'm not talking. I think it was about 3 Milky Ways a day. His diet was fucking shocking. I wouldn't eat breakfast, I don't think.
Did you know?
Well, we got breakfast at Barrafield. There was always like Lennoxtown was brilliant. See, when you got breakfast at Barrafield, there was always a pube in the scrambled egg, mate.
Nah, you made sure you ate before you
went.
went.
There's no way I'm fucking touching this. Ginger pube, so it must have been like in amongst that again.
I'll be Archie, remember me Archie?
Oh, we are,
Oh, Jesus,
brilliant.
man.
You were a big breakfast man, weren't you?
Aye, especially at not until we moved to the new training ground at Sunderland. That's when they started getting the proper chef in. But it was always like, you had like your bacon and your sausages, but it was obviously a healthier version.
Grilled,
aye, and I fucking top right
food was a
that.
joke, man.
Scrambled egg, love scrambled egg.
Best thing about Celtic was the food, man.
Man, it was unbelievable.
I used to think it was like fucking curries every day, man.
I know.
How were they?
Ronnie Dyer came in and honestly it was like fucking scrapped everything. Everything was gone. No butter, no tomato sauce, nothing. So we've went for like, do what you want, lads. There's like boys would be in the back, they're like, who wants a can of juice? And it'd be like, can of iron brew, Coke, whatever it was. Honestly, like lunch. And then like obviously Lenny moved away and then Ronnie Dyer came in and brought these 2 people, sports scientists and that, and it was like no butter, tomato sauce, juice, everything. He couldn't believe, he couldn't get in his mind that football players would drink like fizzy juice and that. He's like, you're crazy, why are you drinking that?
That is crazy.
It was like world buffet, mate, at Lennoxtown, it, Lenny.
Honestly, see like away trips and that,
How's that chicken no batter? That's what Lenny used to shout, innit? Some fucking batter.
Away trips and that, we'd be sitting at the back of the bus playing cards and that, and then Parks would like walk up with I'm not joking, a black bag, right? He'd walk up with a black bag like Santa and go like that on the table, and the boys would be wired in, and it'd be like every chocolate bar you could think of. And like, I'm taking that for the room and that tonight. Like, just honestly, it was like, just do what you want. But we were doing well, like we were winning,
there was nothing there.
Chris Commons, like, they come in and they try
He does not like a chocolate bar.
No, but I think Dyer come in though. Dyer come in and changed all his diet and that, and he was like, the ISO drinks and that, he was like, swallow it in your mouth, but don't swallow it, spit it out. Right? And Commons I think he was about 32, 33 at the time. He'd scored 30 odd goals the year before, played the season, like flying. And now the guy's telling him to like take a drink of Lucozade, whatever it is, but don't swallow it because you don't actually need just spit it out because your body will take all the electrolytes or whatever it needs. I mean, I'm like,
I've heard you shouting that in your taxis. Swallow it, didn't spit it out. You remember Ronnie Dyer?
It's not the ISOs, is it?
No.
boys' heads were gone, man. It was like, oh god.
Well, you know, there's no pure.
Wait, we're going to come out right. The last question.
Sorry, but see at that time, but we used no pure boys feeling pure weak.
Nah, it felt good, mate.
Under Dyler.
But then
Dyler.
was it not double creaming on it as well?
I'm sure Charlie said he felt good.
It was weird, mate. It was like, to be fair, I think he kept the bacon. I think he was like high on, like, we'll give you loads of bacon, high on the bacon, but he was like battling us with rolls and bacon and that, like pieces and bacon, whatever in the morning. But took away butter and tomato sauce, so it was like...
But there was whipped cream in there.
Fucking-
You must know, because I've seen you with whipped cream all your boys.
Right, Ram,
I knew that was going somewhere.
What team goes in everything?
somewhere.
Correct, Kevin. Right, we've said go off there, haven't we?
Aye.
Good, you said it really
Sign
well.
up at gsport.com/.
Open goal, you said
Any
it
other
really
sports you like, Dylan?
Nah.
Just football?
Nah, just
Football.
well. No, you were good at old darts, weren't you?
Nah, I played, but
No.
I wouldn't say I was good, mate. I played nuts, but...
Right, we're going to come to his career, but
Sorry.
I need to apologise. Last week, when Davy Martindale was fixing the crossbar, were you there when he was doing it?
No, I heard about this, but...
Right.
They weren't
So
happy, it was like...
Is Davy, is he a joiner by trade, or
I think he's everything, mate. I think he does everything.
have you seen him actually do stuff about the ground?
Nah, me personally, no. I've only been in the last week, but I've not seen him. But supposedly he's controlled the whole club, man. He does everything. Aye.
Right, so I wanted to ask you, what other managers, what jobs would they have that were not football managers?
I actually can see Davy Martindale as that guy that you run up to like in a second-hand car sales park, like a second-hand car dealer up the East End.
Right.
Davy comes out with the fucking trousers on, the black shoes, and the white shirt. Got hanging out. All right, mate, what you after?
I was going to say taxis for Davy Martindale.
It's a
could
taxi
imagine
all day.
Trackies on, and
Outside the
trackies
boiler
in a
green.
shirt. Trackies in a shirt driving the taxi.
I was thinking about that today when you said Derek McInnes, because he's all tanned and beautiful. You could see him like working in a fucking Italian restaurant
Dale.
with
not a bad
the white
shout.
shirt
Aye.
tucked in.
Aye, it's like-
I can see him
Aye,
walking
it's
there.
a shout.
Walking there doing a bit of fucking Salt Bay or something.
Aye.
I think Lee Johnson would be a car salesman.
Lee Johnson, aye.
Brown
See
jacket,
him
brown
that brown
shoes.
jacket?
He's too...
Looks
It's
like
Scott-
Matilda's dad.
it's Scott-
Remember Matilda's dad, Danny DeVito?
Looked
That's
like
what he looked
flipping
like,
Alpha
man.
Daily, didn't
It's
he?
got these six now.
One bits in the back.
Big Ange's a bouncer and Witherspoon's, isn't he?
No, in a roll
sorry,
van.
man, isn't he?
A roll van.
Isn't he? Do you know what I mean? Flipping burgers and that. Do you know what I mean?
Who else have we got? Van Bronckhorst.
Ballerina.
A vet or something like that.
No.
I'd be smart, but a doctor.
No, no,
In a
Aye.
shop, aye, in a shop.
Consultant.
Posh
Aye.
shop.
Consultant.
Could put him down for
Could didn't you see a neurosurgeon and Gio sitting there?
Callum Davidson. Security guard and boots.
A steward at a Broom game, sitting there with a big
No,
yellow
that's a great
jacket.
shout.
Security guard and boots.
That's the one, aye. It's the best with
I've got Liam Fox, Lollipop Man.
Aye, Malcolm Mackay in the pub.
Jinx on a pub. I was going to say lorry driver.
Big Milky with the cat boots on, a pair of trackies on. Just
I think
sitting
you'd
at the
know,
wheel.
just sit in the lorry bollock naked, innit?
Aye, he likes that, doesn't he? Aye, I can see that.
Anyone else? Jim Goodwin. Selling Herbalife, innit?
I think it's between him and
PT.
Del, by the way, who's having herself.
The best.
Robbie
I think the two of them
Nielsen.
fancy themselves.
Have you seen how Robbie Nielsen claps his hand?
No.
I seen this on Twitter. Do you know Robbie Nielsen claps his hands like that? Mate, that's what he's like. Somebody brought it up.
They're playing the saxophone, they're constantly stuck like that. So
No
he's-
way.
Well, did you see Robbie Nielsen then?
Cat house, innit?
DJ.
DJ in the cat house.
Fucking hell, man.
Brilliant. Anyone else? Who else is in the league?
Is it one?
Sitman,
Stephen Robinson.
Stevie Robinson. He could be one of them like union leaders.
Yeah, like Mick Lynch.
I think Mick Lynch fucking standing with the microphone with that Northern Irish accent. Know your rights!
Decent.
That was
That
good.
was actually
That
right,
was
wasn't it?
really
That's
good.
We're here for the people!
That's good.
Oh my god, why have you stopped the
Just
accent?
because I didn't want to do them.
Brilliant, man.
You're really good at accents, to be fair to you. Yeah.
That's it then. Alright, we're on to football. Ready for
Right.
this? No, I didn't get to see a lot of. We didn't get to see a lot of football. Obviously, we're playing, but Rangers and Motherwell. Holy fuck!
Mate, if God, if that was on in the back garden, I'd have shut the door and turned the blinds down. It was awful,
Is it bad? I never watched that.
And got
I've never seen
naked.
it.
It was
And
terrible.
put cream on your boss.
I keep hearing about how good Motherwell's turned around since Stevie
I
Hammer.
think I was one of them that said that.
You wanted to meet him, you know, didn't you?
I'm not convinced what I saw yesterday. I don't think there was anything really that I would turn around and say, like last week, we talked about identities and teams. I didn't see anything there that I would think Motherwell play this
certain way.
style.
Aye.
This is what they do.
Yeah.
And Rangers, coming off the back of a 7-1 defeat to Liverpool, they were probably just happy to get the result. Like, go there, get the 3 points and up the road
Yeah.
after a tough week. But even they were a bit lacklustre. So
Yeah.
for me, a performing Motherwell team that people are saying probably felt they could have got something there at the weekend. But
Yeah.
22 young men fighting over a hot tatty on it.
I never seen it before, but I heard the Motherwell boys' goal was decent before, but I've not seen it.
McKinster, he's a good player. I quite like
Aye.
him.
Diabolical.
So see if the Boca boys, say you got 22 Boca boys and they served up that. What
Out
would
the
you do?
door.
Are you running them?
Out the door.
The Monday night, you running
The
The mum and dads are coming to pick them up, isn't
They
they?
were a bit frosty when they did the parents.
were they?
Because that
Because you
comment.
put them at their house, chasing them up for money. They went down frosted, they're fucking freezing, they've had to turn their heating off.
How many frosted?
Because they're fighting you.
I was on here last week and I'm like,
He was chasing families up for.
we done a podcast in the morning, like what we were doing before the podcast, and I was like, doing emails, chasing the parents up for money.
No, you weren't.
Swear to God, aye, but I said it now they're that fucking...
It's a living crisis, mate. And you're fucking-
Honestly.
But mate, I say to you, I don't know why I say things like this though. I tell lies about myself, but absolutely kill myself by saying it, don't I? Because I've not made a penny for podcast, so I don't know why the fuck I've said that. Fucking unbelievable.
Here, you're due me this.
By the way, thanks for letting us use your offices again.
Good, innit? Well, thing embassy, innit?
You're taking it to
It's
another level.
really good, it's really good. But on the game side, diabolical.
But see, Rangers, right, that quality of player, got it 5 days a week, how can you not get them past the ball to each other?
By the way, I mean, I didn't watch it right in about it, but I think we struggled to see was there a pass or play with 5 passes in a row.
No.
I didn't see it. It was so slow at the back as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think because Goldson's not there, it kills him a wee bit.
Do you think he's the one that gets them playing? See, when you're playing again, he's usually the one that the
Drag
goalie
people
will
about,
pass the ball
them.
first into, and he
He's
goes
got
and
that
plays
big
for it.
diagonal,
But
hasn't he?
even the boy King, and it's not just him, it was a whole team. It was absolutely...
Was Stephen Davis playing?
No, he was
he
on
not?
the bench.
See, when he plays,
He goes and takes the ball off the back foot,
because he just goes and plays wee passes and dictates the tempo and that. I love it.
And Motherwell got a few opportunities through. The Rangers got a few opportunities through Motherwell's mistakes as well. It just was so flat. But like you said, maybe it just highlights the importance of Connor Goldson, because when it was during the week, comes off, they end up shipping 5 goals by the time he comes off, and then at the weekend, maybe that leadership's not quite there. Who else is going to?
Although defensively, I thought King and Davis done quite well.
I know, defensively they were fine.
Motherwell no a lot of chances.
Aye, don't get the deal. They dealt with Van Veen and that. I thought Van Veen really never got many sniffs.
He's a handful.
But he was doing man nothing, mate.
Kumoni.
He was like doing something great, putting it wide, mate. I was like, jog into the box, get yourself in the box.
He played against us a few times. Well, obviously Aberdeen games and that. He was good, man. Every game.
Good at what is he good at? Just taking it in, linking the play.
He was always involved in the game. Do you know what I mean? He was even noising the centre halves up, and he'd pop up with a few goals. Like he was just always involved. Do you know what I mean? He wouldn't really go through a game and you forget that he was playing. He was always involved somehow.
Yeah,
he was good, man. They beat us a few times, to be fair, and I think he was probably the main reason for that.
Because you look at that Rangers midfield, Lundstrom, Arfield. See if I was playing centre midfield that game, I'd be going off my nut.
Aye.
Just kicking the ball past you.
Yep.
I can't think of a time where Lundstrom, Arfield went and actually got the ball and passed the ball.
But you see them in the Champions League and that, the times where, well, it's maybe because who they're playing against sometimes as well, like the better teams end up letting you have more of the ball sometimes, don't they? They just come off. And
Yeah.
You see Rangers, they go play, do you know what I mean? They try to play their way to trouble, and that's probably why they get beat 7 off Liverpool, because they still tried to play like the short passes in the middle of the park.
So you have seen that and thought...
But if you're, because I seen Gio's reaction after the Liverpool game, and he was saying like, well, naive, we kept playing balls in the middle of the pitch where Liverpool were strong and countering on all the time. So maybe he said, stop playing these square passes, do you know what I mean? And kind of go behind.
Because it seemed like they were trying to hit that diagonal, wasn't it? Davis to Matondo, and it was King to Kent,
get
and
the front three
getting the
going
front
at
three up on the pitch.
There was a few times I watched on Wednesday night, like a few slack passes. Obviously, Tavernier played the ball at the midfield that got cut out, that ended up leading to one of the goals, to the corner that led to the goal. And it was the same on Sunday, where they kept like reversing passes square across each other, and they weren't actually going to the man. It was as if like, oh, we're hoping somebody's there, but we're just Barisic cutting it back, Lundstrom going back, and it's like miles off, and players having to chase wild passes. And I just thought that's not.
But it still seems to me, Kev, I don't know if you agree. How long's Van Bronckhorst been in the job?
18 months.
Coming up, will it be?
Nah, not as much.
Rangers have still not got an identity.
Nah, still no.
It'll be after Christmas last year.
I thought they played at the back, and they played like just constantly played. Do you know what I mean? When they first came in, but they probably through a wee patchy spell. Do you know what I mean? Like in Champions League and that, and thought we can't go into games. That teams know this is how we're going to play.
Because teams are setting up. If you've got better players, why would you not do that?
I know. It's that old one of sticking by it. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to play my way.
Some players in that team need freshening up. See the likes of Kent's not doing enough for me.
So see Kent and Morelos, obviously they're...
But is this... I see a lot of criticism for Kent, but is this setup suited to Ryan Kent? Do they get balls to his feet regularly to go and run a fullback?
Remember I said to you a month ago, if you put Ryan Kent in a Celtic team, I think you would see his numbers come away up.
Massively.
You would see him loving
playing. Do you
playing.
think Barisic as a left back?
He doesn't pass on the ball.
He just goes back all the time.
Even he does pass it side, and then say like Taylor or Barnaby playing with Celtic, pass it into Jota or whatever it is, you see them overlapping, getting behind that, then takes the full back away, then allows Jota maybe to come inside. You don't see that with Barisic. So when it comes to Kent, he's not got that overlap runner. So he's like, oh, I'll come back and start again because I've got no help, I've got no decoy. And I just think that the Rangers maybe try somebody else in the left that maybe gets further up the park. Imagine Kent was on the right with Tavernier and the two of them are going in tandem, would they get more joy? I don't. Like, I'm trying to think, how does Rangers? Because there's no question, nobody's ever going to deny this. Ryan Kent's a really, really good footballer. Like, when he comes in and starts dinking in one way and going the other way, left foot, right foot, moving his body shape, he's really, really good at it. When Sunday had a couple of chances where had he shot a bit quicker, he might have got a couple of goals. Does he need somebody else to help him on that wing, allow him to do more of that? Whereas I don't think he gets enough opportunities to go one-on-one.
It's crazy about Yilmaz.
That's what I'm saying. If he can't get into that team, with Barisic, the performance he's been putting in, then he must be miles off it, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Do you think with Kent they're putting enough like onus on him to like get his numbers up though? Because I feel if he was at Brendan Rodgers' team and Ange now, it'd be almost a case of you need to be hitting these sort of numbers, because see if you don't, boy James Forrest is coming in, Yotta's coming in, Abada's coming in. So
there's not enough like people.
There's not enough challenge on him. Do you know what I mean? See if he's not scoring or assisting. We all know he's playing the next game. He's playing the next game and he's playing. Whereas, see at Celtic, you're not playing for a game or two, even 45 minutes. I seen one of the Champions League games. I think it was Abada maybe.
Yeah, you're right.
The Real Madrid game. He missed a couple of chances, half time, whipped somebody else on. And then he had a wee run for a couple of games. Do you know what I mean? It was like constantly everybody's putting pressure on each other, but you need to get goals, you need to get assists. Like, that's why you're there. Do you know what I mean?
I think of the Hearts Rangers game that I went and watched live, and see the first 40 minutes, I don't think Kent hardly touched the ball. And Rangers were 2-0 up and they hardly touched the ball. It was only when they got the man sent off Hearts that he actually got on the ball because they had more space.
Am I right in saying when Gerrard was the manager, Kent was Rangers' best player?
Aye.
Because of the style of play, didn't it?
But I feel he said he went and demanded it.
It's mad how much a manager and a style of play can bring either bring out the best of you or make you look like a guy.
But did he have him down at Liverpool when he was at youth team? No. Am I right in saying that? Maybe.
Not too sure.
But they've still, I could be wrong here, but I'm sure Kent and else is still no signing new deals.
No.
So what would you do? Would you look at extending them or?
Well,
yeah, you need to extend it, don't you?
You need to extend them because they can become assets. So you've got an asset, then you obviously will command money. But if they're not performing at that level, who's going to come in and sign them?
Well, he's not the number 9 anymore, is he really?
No.
That isn't it?
And Kent is paid what, 7 million or something for him?
I still believe that if he doesn't sign a deal, Kent, I think he could go somewhere else, and you would see the best Ryan Kent in a different maybe team, different players right about him.
Outfit,
and I think with Morelos, regardless of what anybody thinks of him, he will always score goals wherever he goes. He's a handful, and I think the two of them are probably holding out to see how things pan out, possibly. Because at the end of the day, if you sign, we've all been in this situation. I would imagine your contract's coming to an end at the end of the season. You're sitting there as a player. You don't need a rush to sign because the club have probably made you offers. You know they want you. You're just maybe saying, well, wait till January.
Yeah.
See what happens. See who comes in for me.
See your options.
See what your options are. Would you rush to sign a contract? Now, if you're 2-3 months away and you're Ryan Kent or Alfredo Morelos?
Well, you need to know what teams would be interested in you going there at first.
But you always know, I know you can't legally go and talk to players out with the January window, but we all know how it works. Agents get in touch, people make noises, you know how things. But for me, if I'm Ryan Kent now and Alfredo Morelos, I'm sitting there holding tight, waiting to January. If I'm Rangers, I'm asking myself, why have we got to this situation?
Do you think Rangers are desperate to sign them up just to protect their
I would money? Think so, would you know?
They would have to be.
I'd think just for protecting the money, but when you think Morelos isn't playing, really, is he?
Do you think he should be playing?
And the big Kolak's playing every week. I like him, I like Morelos, and he might make it a different Rangers team the way he plays, but the big boy's playing and scoring goals, I mean.
See, when you've got a guy that size, it is easy just to go direct, isn't it?
Whereas it's a case of he's doing well, but the kind of team's play is suffering.
Yeah.
Whereas Morelos was playing, you would say they were probably playing a bit better. I don't know if that's just through the striker, do you know what I mean? But it might be a case of just different styles with a different striker.
He's brilliant. He's always been.
I'm actually really surprised you're on fire.
On obviously from your point of view, right? You're the Rangers manager right now, just hypothetically, and you've got Morelos, you want them in the team, but you can't put him in the team now because Kolak's doing well, understand in the system you're playing. We talked about before, do you change your system to maybe give them an opportunity or two of them up front and change things around? Does that then help Kent having two options?
But where does Kent then play?
I know, but that's what I'm saying. So
teams don't play two up.
I know they don't play two up, but could they play... I know Morelos likes to come short sometimes and get things and what have you. Could he be the one that comes a wee bit shorter? Kolak stay further up the park.
Yeah.
Could you go, like, who would your 3 be? Could you probably go King, obviously if Goldson was fit, Goldson and maybe Lundstrom.
A 3-5-2.
A 3-5-2.
So where's Kent playing in a 3-5-2?
And
you can't put Kent on the left because he's not going to track back.
Maybe in the
So
whole,
just go
maybe
proper,
like a
2-1, how you could.
2-1-2.
See, to be fair,
But Van Bronckhorst is not that type of manager that would go and play that attack.
I think he's got his structure, but as you said, if you got the two in the pitch, majority of the time in the games they've got majority of the ball, you'd fancy them to go score goals, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
You would, but it's just trusting that process.
But see when Celtic put Jackie Mackis on, who is like a big guy type, they don't change their style of play.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So when they put Trelawney, it shouldn't just be they're just going to change play direct. That's because they're sort of making it up Rangers as they go on.
So here's a question for you. He's the Rangers manager. Should Rangers have a set style, a set identity, or is it good that he can change from game to game?
I think, I said it last week, I think you need that one. No, I don't mean one way of playing, but I do think you need a set style. I do. And you maybe we changes now and again, but your team know this is how we play. Especially at Rangers, when at games you've got 60-70% of the ball every single week. I don't know though. I don't know. I was saying it the other day with a manager, I think it was somebody said Cathro had this style. He didn't work, so it doesn't mean it always works, but I think you look at the most successful ones will have their own style of play.
Nice.
I think the problem's maybe like the lack of depth in the squad. It's maybe no trust in the ones that are sitting on the bench or in the squad to come on and replace what you have, even though the ones like Kent and that maybe aren't flying, like he said earlier, who's really going to replace Kent at this minute in time? Who's he going to bring on that could because do you know what I mean? It's like as if like the depth isn't there. And I know a lot of the Rangers fans are unhappy about the recruitment process over the course of like the summer stuff and saying that we're still playing with the same midfielders for whatever it was, and I get that. But they brought in Tillman, they brought in
They spent money, didn't they?
Matonda, they brought in that other boy at left back that's always not got a game.
But even like Matonda, he hardly got a touch of the ball yesterday.
For me, it's a two.
Tillman was the same.
It's a two centre halves that they let go. Was it
Balogun.
Balogun, that's the
and
biggest
the other
crime.
boy, the other centre half, who was injured but he came back? Who was
Richard
it?
Goff.
I know who, Hollander.
Hollander.
No,
he's
there's
still
another
there.
one.
He's still there.
The other boy. I can't remember. He scored a header against Celtic, I think last season or something.
Oh, I
Big guy shot here.
I think it'd be Katic.
Katic.
Yeah, Katic.
Two centre halves. Like I know he's come back from injury, but now you're in a situation where
Probably could have done, you know,
like they've not getting much
Balogun was,
cover.
I
have
think
they?
even like some of the top pundits, they said that like Balogun leaving him go for a free was ridiculous because you wouldn't have had to pay them much to keep him. Do you know what I mean? And have that.
And now to go buy somebody and replace him is harder, isn't it?
What do you think about that? What you asked me?
I'm asking the questions. Well, I honestly, like when I'm watching Rangers yesterday, I'm thinking I don't know how they're trying to get the ball from there to there.
Aye.
Which I don't think a Rangers team should have a look like that. Like you think of Gerrard's team. I know you're saying about the one way of playing. I think Gerrard did it first. It was all very much come to feet. And then I think the year they won the league, they could start going in behind as well, didn't they?
We get done that.
So they had this
first game
style.
of the season against them up at Pittodrie,
They just-
and it was during COVID. It was like no fans and that. I
remember that, aye.
And I can't remember how long the game was before the goal, but
Kent scored,
it was
didn't
like shot, and then it was like Big Sam Golson just
put
right
it
in behind,
behind.
and Kent come inside, inside run, one-on-one with the goalie, put it by him. Get
So
beat 1-0.
I still think you could take more than one way of playing within a certain structure,
Aye.
which I think
that's
under
important.
Gerrard,
Like I'd hate, like if I was a coach to be
predictable.
see people to watch my team and say I don't know how they play. That
Same.
would kill me.
Same.
But I agree that you need to kind of stick with that, but you got to be able to tweak it here and there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Aye,
There's personnel and
certain
Scotland manager.
He could be a coach.
Hey, I'm doing my
great hope.
my B licence. So I've got
What
the-
is your philosophy?
I've got the
I'm
bug for
looking
it.
player coach at Brimhill. I'm looking for a coach.
Aye.
What is your philosophy?
That's a big word.
Do you like that word? Because a lot of people kind of throw that back in people's faces when they hear the word philosophy, but
I think it's hard. I think you need to become a coach and a manager, and then to develop your kind of your views. But obviously, I like to play football. Do you know what I mean? I like getting the ball in the
That's
grass
how you play,
and
don't it?
passing because that's the way I play. So I'd like to think that if I did become a manager or a coach, that I would like to play football. I'd like to play. I'd like to be able to think. I'd
like to play
I'd
this
enjoy
team.
playing that team.
He's from Multi, he's only got one philosophy: making
Fuck
paper, innit?
Making money.
Making paper, mate. That's all he
Fuck
cares
it
about. Motherwell, welcome Celtic to Fir Park on Wednesday, 6:15 kickoff. It's a strange one,
It's a
innit?
strange one, aye.
Do you see enough of them to suggest they can get something?
no.
I was disappointed.
would
Dom.
say-
I'll pull
think
Faggy
if-
up on Thursday.
I think if Celtic were to turn up and perform at 3/4 of the level they did on Saturday, they'd blow Motherwell away, to be honest. I was really excited to watch Motherwell on
same.
TV.
Because the way Andy
Because I thought
Charlie
everybody
spoke
said
about
Stevie
them.
Hamill, exactly right. Stevie Hamill have seen that they've done great things and they've got a bit of a, and I don't think they believed that they could beat Rangers on Sunday, and that's criminal in football because I think after a team getting beat 7-1 through the week, they'll be hurting. You know, that's the best time to get them. And I just thought, nah, there wasn't enough. And it was only when they got the goal, and obviously the goal was a bit fortuitous. McGregor's obviously took a step too early and it's went over the top of him. It was a great ball in, don't get me wrong, it would have troubled a lot of goalkeepers, but it was only when they got that goal, they thought,
going to have a goal.
Maybe have a goal,
and I thought,
you think they would have sensed that Rangers were off it?
You find that a lot, when, like, I've been in teams that's done it, like, you end up going down a couple and then it's when you start going, you go down like 1 or 2, you end up, it's as if you take the shackles off and go start playing. Do you know what I mean? It's as if you...
What do you think that is?
I don't know. It's as if like, you're not worried that you're nothing to lose, so it's like, may as well go just try play, and then before you know it, you score, and then you think, oh fuck, we've got a chance here, do you know what I mean? And then you have a go. But
I know, but I think Motherwell, I don't know, I'll take it as a one-off because I'm not going to judge them just a game against Rangers, but ultimately I was a wee bit disappointed. Can they bounce back on Wednesday? Of course they can, but after seeing Celtic annihilate Hibs 6-1, I wouldn't be hopeful.
That new jacket.
You done me well in that one, remember? What, you don't spill that down your new jacket?
Is that what you're buying off all that family's money?
I'm thinking about, do you like the all black one of this?
aye,
Mate, his style was brilliant.
I know, I seen him when he came in, he had, what was the hoodie and the jacket? Is that? Go and stick it on, mate.
Nah, you stick it on.
Even back in the day when I used to wear the G-Star jeans, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and all Saints polo shirts were too tight and the G-Stars were too big. And
what trainers would you wear with the
Converse, but with turn-ups, with cornies. But see, the thing is, at the time, Lenny used to walk about with cornies.
Oh, fuck off.
Remember Lenny's cornies?
He's going to get his fat legs in.
Do you remember Lenny wore Converse?
Do you remember the Converse that were leather, but... No, they weren't. Do you remember them?
Like leather baseball boots? They were boots?
No.
They were like Converse, but they were made of leather.
Made of leather, and they were all black or all white.
Yeah.
Lenny had the black ones, mate, and I swear to God, the toe went away.
His feet did just come up, I remember.
Shit, like in
Converse. How big's Lenny's calf?
Oh, his calf. He's not got, mate, his legs are just one leg.
It's unbelievable.
There's no definition.
His thigh just goes right into his calf, and then right into fucking
Remember
his
those? Do you remember the section me and you had? But I was even worse than you, but you were fucking right up there that day. Remember how bad we were?
I
You remember that?
Mate. No. You tell me,
I had
bro.
one of the worst sessions ever. I've told this before, but you were up there.
You used to just beat yourself up. You gave one pass away and then I'm shite, I shouldn't be here, I shouldn't be here. It's like, I know you speak about it all the time, but it's like, you're a good player, man. Like, you just... to be fair, I'm critical myself as well, do you know what I mean? Like, in games and training, but you just fucking, you beat yourself up, man.
What's wrong with you? One pass?
Aye.
And then you've got, I don't want it. We're doing like half a pitch, the gate game. You obviously done the gate game.
Like, the gate game.
We go half a pitch, you know what I mean? And he's like shouting for the ball, but he's like hiding behind somebody. He's like, yes, give us it. And it's like, he's like, don't give me it.
That's the worst. We're going to come on to that in a bit, but just on Celtic, you went to the game, so I'll ask you, what did you make it? What had stupid to go and have a go?
No, I
don't even know if you call it.
Was it? I don't know what it was. It was rubbish. It was, and I don't mean to tribute because it's hard to go to Celtic Park, but they were miles off it, weren't they?
I thought did they not start all right? For the first 10 minutes, they were nicking the ball in like the halfway line and maybe breaking, but
even for
once Celtic got the first,
you were getting free kicks at the halfway line, they were just kicking it away. There was no thought of anything. But Celtic were brilliant, weren't they? And that's the only one criticism. Listen, if we get the forefront of view with Ange, I probably would say to him about I think Forrest should have had much more chances. Do you know what I mean? But
I knew you were going to say that.
To be fair, for me, he's got much more quality than Mida does.
Yeah. Much more quality than Mida and Abada.
Abada when he came on, but I was quite...
And here's one, I think... And Jota. I swear, I believe that.
They're different players, man. Jamesie's like get the ball and like run at you and try to get the byline. Jota's like come inside and try
his finishing is very good.
His numbers are unbelievable. 100 goals.
I think on Jamesy as he's got older through the years and not played as much. He has to obviously adapt his game to, so I can't run by players anymore, but he's clever enough to, I would say he's more clever than Maida, to create that space in a different way, to put balls in, because Maida you probably do, but do you see Abada? And I suppose they fucking do as well. I was going to say they come in the far post, but they all do, didn't they?
They're
always in. That's how James is always going.
That was shocking.
On one side.
If Jamesy
came on again,
it's good goal, so now.
Brilliant goal.
If Jamesy could keep up the work rate that Maida and Abada and that's got, like pressing, I think he would play in that team. Because his finishing is unbelievable, and they'll create a lot of chances. Do you know what I mean? And the chances that they boys are missing, Jamesy 9 times out of 10's put them away.
How many times has the ball got the wide player? What was it? What's his name?
Hibanovic. He's brilliant. Him.
He gets it, and Hatate just runs into
How
that
good does he make
fucking
that run?
channel there, mate. Nobody picks
Just
it up.
dragging
mate.
people
Just
over the bar,
I know.
drags people in.
And if they follow him,
he just
space
cuts
opens
in,
up.
exactly.
Easy.
It's no rocket science,
No,
is
that's
it?
no daft, is it?
But that's what, see when you watch Celtic, like the rotations and movements, it's very simple, mate.
It's a something
Fullback
game,
steps
yeah.
in, it's a straight ball
It's
to the
like-
wide player and the midfielder just running into space.
It's identifying that when the attack goes, somebody comes and fills in. So he knows that if he goes, he's going to be covered.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes players will go and run into places and they're not covered, and then they'll counter attack, break, and then you're.
But that's what
why have
knowing
you
that
gone
everybody's
there?
doing. I think as you said earlier, but like they all know their positions.
Aye.
Like Cal McGregor plays the 6 and he plays it brilliantly. And then they bring on say Boy Moy. He plays the 6. Callum goes
That's
up one.
coaching, mate, innit?
Callum goes up one, and he knows, right, I'm playing as the 8 or the 10 now.
Matt,
And then
my game
he totally
changes.
he doesn't come and try to go on the ball now.
again,
He
yeah.
just starts. The ball goes wide. He starts making the like runs in behind and creating space, and like they all know exactly like if you're coming on the right or the left.
This is
exactly
what's
what you're
expected
after.
of you.
Exactly. I love it.
Moy was
Brilliant.
good when he came on.
Boy, he started.
I meant like some of the
When he
positions
came on for
picked
the
up,
start,
and he just passed these things in through the.
He's passed for me as a joke.
It's a great pass.
He started.
I didn't even
I'm glad you said that because I didn't watch a game.
The only one thing about Boy, he's just a bit slow.
One pace.
Aye, that's the only thing. But see, talk about Hibs. We talk about how good you that. That first goal, Hizbanovic gets the ball on the left, and he's got about 20, 30 yards with nobody in the
You need to get
That's
back,
crap.
get to the
That's
ball,
rubbish. I don't mind if you sit back and let people higher up the pitch to have the ball, but when it gets round about your final third,
You can't
close
give
the
them free
fucking
rein,
ball
you know,
down.
just to
No
get one
way,
up,
be aggressive.
By the way, do you know, Carter Vickers is a joke. Hibs played with a 6'8" striker, mate, and Carter Vickers won every header against him.
He's a monster.
He's brilliant, him.
Monster.
Who's the 6'8"
I like
striker?
that game.
What's his name? Big striker.
Yeah.
Unovic.
Junovic. Is he? How was McCurdy?
He done well, didn't he?
McCarthy, no.
You said he was a good signing.
I
seen
liked
his gear,
him.
by the
I
way?
liked him at
Have
City.
you
He
seen
scored a
his
lot of
gear?
goals. He's pals with Calvin, that, isn't he? I met him in the summer.
I
said
texted
he
him
was-
about him, man. He's like, I love him and that.
Aye.
But so one of, I think it was Martin Boyle put it on Instagram, like what his gear at training. Honestly, man.
I heard he's a
Unbelievable.
character. He's
Mad.
doing it at Swindon. But Hibs have started well, but I was expecting a wee bit more.
Aye. This is the thing with it. For me, it's feeling like last year all over again. Celtic and Rangers are that far ahead of the next group. That have they improved? I don't think a lot of them have compared to last year. And it's going to be just a battle at who can be the most consistent team to pick up the most points in a period of time. That allow. If you look at the league now, Hearts have dropped down to 7th. I think they're 3 points behind Hibs, who would be in 3rd.
Yeah.
And it's a case of if one of these teams, Hibs, your Hearts, St Mirren's, whatever, go on a run in Aberdeen, say a run of 3-4 undefeated, they could put some daylight between themselves, but they're no far enough, no close enough to be catching Celtic and Rangers. So it's again, we're down to.
You think a few weeks ago, I think Hearts played Rangers, and if they beat them,
Aye,
they went
points.
second.
Aye,
And that
went on
was
the
maybe
same
about
points,
2-3
aye.
weeks ago.
Yep.
And then they've played about 3-4 games, and they've dropped out of bottom 6 or something.
But they have had a lot of injuries, to be fair.
I think the injuries in Europe,
it's
which
killed
is Europe's a bonus, it's great, but it's killed them in the league, isn't it?
By the way, I wanted to ask you, because you obviously, when you'd have left, he was a completely different player. What about Anthony Ralston then? He's passed for a bad
Absolutely.
was
His whole game, Si.
Giamakis the second?
His whole game. So
Because when he
aggressive.
signed there, like, you'd seen a wee bit of him, like, just playing as a back four and that, do you know what I mean? You like maybe knows like the quality and that's no there. And then they signed him again after the summer, didn't they? And I think a lot of Celtic fans that were like, a bit like, what's happening here? And to be fair, he's took his game to another level, do you know what I mean?
It's like we're talking about Kent, innit? You get a manager that suits your style.
100%.
It's football for
coaches
you,
you,
man.
it's mad.
Like, he potentially leaving and don't know where they went, do you know what I mean? Like, somewhere
The man
else in
said he went
Scotland.
loaned to United, it didn't
And St Johnstone, mate, never worked out.
Aye, and
So
then
say,
that,
so say
didn't
he ends up like a Livingston or somewhere, like, do you know what I mean? And then Celtic go, nah, we're going to take another chance on him, we'll make him better. And then before you know it, he's flying. Talk about Scotland squads, he's doing really well.
See, just on fullbacks, I watched that Conroy clip with Stratton.
Genius.
Mate, there was more to that, so he
Was there?
went on there and that, so he's saying about his son, he's like, oh, so if the son's out, Conroy can't play on the to go, and he's like, so if Barcelona phone me tomorrow, La Liga, can we get Ryan Conroy? I'll need to say to him, is it still sunny out there in Spain? Well, he's no use for you then. But mate, he kept going on, and then he was like, think you poor Conroy tonight, he'll be in his bed praying for rain tomorrow. It was like,
Is he back to him?
all because Conroy done that once, try to volley a ball
Did
back.
Stratton ever do you?
Oh, it done me. Oh, I told you one about negative play, wasn't it? Every time I passed the ball back, he'd stop it and give the ball to the other team. So if there was somebody there, mate, on my arse and I touched it back to a full back, not stop, negative play, give the other team the ball. He's like, you're one of the most negative men I've ever met. And I was like, what negative?
Why do you think he done it that way?
Probably just testing you, mate.
Mate, Lenny was the same. Lenny was not as much as that, but like, see if you played it forward, see if the ball went back, it had to go forward. You couldn't go back again to the goalie, or like if you played it to the goal and it went out, you couldn't go back to the goal, like small sideys and that. He was like, don't pass the ball back, go forward.
But that's strange, mate, because he passed it.
He was a crap, mate. He was just like
Never went forward, did you know?
But I honestly see like one touch. We used to do like obviously 1 touch, 2 touch, all in. See the 1 touch, 2 touch. He was unbelievable. Maybe like because you couldn't get near him because he was just like using his body and that. But his wee one touches, man, were brilliant.
Stinking of bacon, though, wasn't it?
Did he train at Hibs or not? Did he ever join at Hibs?
He did. Aye.
Did he smash anything?
Nah, he couldn't get near anybody. He couldn't move. But boys were kind of like no really want to go near him. Do you know what I mean? Like with tackling that, but if you gave him time and that, he was a clever player. Do you know what I mean? He was a good player. Like I think he'd probably never get the credit at the time, but he played in a top team. Do you know what I mean? But
so you said about passing it back because your Hibs side especially, that was an attack.
That was.
I loved watching that team.
It was good, mate.
And so was that off of Lenny? No pass the ball backward. We want to tackle it. To be fair,
Gary Parker was good with that. Like Lenny, as you know, he's a bit mad sometimes, right? He'd be harsh and like shouting at all the boys and that, whatever. But Parks would like pull you to the side and that, and he'd make you feel confident before the games and that. He's like, "You're the best player in this park."
Did he? Aye.
He
loved you, Parks.
Well, he used to say to me all the time, right? And I'm like, brilliant, like. And then, but I shared a flat with John McGinn, obviously. And then me and John would talk about it after the game and that, and then he'd be like, "Aye, Parks pulled me before the game." He's like, "You're the best player in the park." I'm like, he told me that.
I thought he was pulling your ass for a snooze. So you shared a flat with John McGinn?
I mean, John shared a flat last season.
That arse must do some of the shite,
honestly, see the couch, mate, it was like literally that.
Is it?
His side, aye.
His saggy ass.
But aye, it was like, they made you believe that you're good players. That was it. Do you know what I mean? Do the basics, obviously, defensively, like, be hard to beat in that, but when you get the ball, go play.
Was he the same as he at Celtic as he was at Hibs?
Nah, it was a wee bit different. Like, he was working with different players. Do you know what I mean? Every player was international players. Do you know what I mean? Like top level. And then came to Hibs, and it was like just boys that are all just happy to be in Scotland. Like, you know what I mean? Just try to do well. Do you know what I mean? So he was probably a wee bit harsher with at Hibs.
What's the biggest rant you've seen him at Hibs?
Oh, he done one at Pittodrie. So all week he was in the press doing obviously leading up to the game, and I think it was Scotty Allen done something in the press. He said like Hearts are Aberdeen are a good team, but they need to fear us as well. So I think the paper printed something like Aberdeen must fear us, right? So we turn up to the stadium, and typical Dale, right? We turn up to the stadium. Lenny's first off the bus when we get in, and I've not seen anything, right? So he's just usually go in, put your bag down, go out to the pitch. So before we can go to the pitch, he's like, "Everybody fucking sit down." So we're all sitting thinking, "What's this?" He's like, that in there thinks he's going to play mind games, and he's holding a bit of paper like that, right? So Dell had printed off the newspaper article and printed it on the away dressing room door to let us know that he's seen it. Do you know what I mean? He's put it on the door. So Lenny's fucking grabbed it off the door before we've even seen it, and he sat us all down. He's like, "That's the fucking mind games." He's like, I used to bully him on the pitch. I'll do it after the pitch. So I said to the boys that were there, I used to bully him on the pitch. I'll bully him off the pitch. He's like, I'm not having it. So he was already wild up before the game. It was like, who was finishing third between us and Aberdeen? Right. We go out the first half, 3-0 down. Big FA, man. 3 goals cost us. Like, boss coming to him. Mackay Stevens charging at him. He's like trying to do a step over, last man. He's nicked it off him, ran through, popped it in. Another goal, I think a penalty. 3-0 down at half time, so we all know it's coming, man. Like, oh no, here we go. We walked in, and it's tiny wee dressing room at Pittodrie, a wee dressing room. So he's picked up, see the crates of water, like 24 crates of water. He's picked that up. Me, Lewis Stevenson are sitting like here. He's like launched it off the wall, like literally here. So we're like jumped down, bottles of water flying everywhere. The medical bed that was in the middle of the room, it was solid. He's somehow managed to tip it. That's landed like at our feet. So me and Louis, I'm not joking, the rest of the half team top were sitting like this because the bed had landed there. So we're sitting like that. We couldn't move. So he was screaming that much that he couldn't even like speak. It was like nothing was coming out. He'd lost his voice. He walked into the toilet. John McGinn's like, "Come on, fuck lads, man, it needs to be better." He comes fucking charging out. He comes charging out, he's like, "What'd you fucking say to me?" John's like, I just said it got to be better, and he's like, "You're playing to get beat. You're fucking playing to get beat."
Did he?
Aye, he went, "You're fucking playing to get beat."
That's brilliant.
Mate, honestly, man.
How was the second half?
4-1 or something. It was like 1 each the second half or something like that. So after the game, it wasn't too bad. But that half time, man, he built the game up too much, and we get dicked 3-0. Honestly, man. And he lost the plot, man.
But you were absolutely, mate, that Hibs team were unbelievable, especially when you took on Celtic and Rangers, mate, you went right for it.
Aye,
Would he give you his belief that you could go and beat Celtic and Rangers?
Aye, he'd have a go. I think it's hard to say like exactly what he'd done, but when he first came in, he was like, "We need to believe that we're going to win every game. We need to get that Celtic and Rangers have got a winning mentality of we won every game. We don't draw games. See, a draw is a disaster. So I think eventually after the games, like, we'd draw games and, you know, it's like you've been in the dressing room, you've played all right, you've drew, and you think, oh, it's not too bad, it's a good point. Do you know what I mean? Away from Motherwell or whatever, or St Johnstone, it's a hard place to come. No, it was like disaster.
I love that.
He wouldn't even come in, so we'd be off. He wouldn't, back in the Monday, he wouldn't come in. Tuesday, wouldn't come in. And we're like, Parks, where's the gaffer? He needed a few days away fees and that. We wouldn't see him on the Thursday, and then he'd address us. Only done it a couple of times, like, but he was like, took it hard. Do you know what I mean? He's like, I'm not accepting drawing. And I think eventually, when we were drawing games, nearly like we were pushing to get the win. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's how he created that kind of culture of going to Parkhead. And I think one of the games we were 1-2-1, and it was to beat the unbeaten run, the Rodgers run. We were 1-2-1. They scored in the last 5 minutes with a corner, cut back and scored. And Lenny was distraught, man. Distraught for getting a point at Parkhead.
He was
he was like, oh, so close.
You beat Rodgers' Celtic team as well, didn't you, under Lenny?
We beat them. I think we beat them at home. A few games we get beat at home, away at Parkhead, and I think we drew 2 each. And then the game at Hampden, we had a right go at it as well. I can't if you remember that. It was like a quarter final, a cup, or a semi final.
Brilliant.
Hampden, what a game! I think we get beat 4-2 in the end, but it was like 2-0 up. We brought it back to 2 each. 2s were going at it. They countered, scored for a corner, I think, and then like the last minute they got a penalty or something and beat us 4-2. But it was some game, man.
The midfield was brilliant, wasn't it? The midfield back was brilliant. McGinn and Bruni was brilliant.
I think that it was good. Like fucking they two big arses just rubbing arses with each other. I used to annoy. Like,
just keep rubbing.
I used to get so annoyed at John sometimes, but because he would do it right, he'd get the ball and he would just arse people, right?
To get the arse.
And then I'm facing him. I'm like, give me it. Like I've got space. Give me it. And like we'll play. But he's just trying to like hold him off. But I'm like, John, you don't need to show everybody how strong you are. We all know you're strong. Once you do that, pass the fucking ball.
Would you just argue in the pitch and that all the time?
Aye, all the time. Because we were so close, we'd argue all the time.
Was he a blind bastard, John McGeouch?
Aye, to me, because we were close.
Yeah.
We wouldn't really argue with other people and that, would say things and that, but when it was me and him, we'd have a go at each other, do you know what I mean?
And who was the third? Scotty Allen or Liam Henderson there?
Aye, Hendel played a bit, Scotty played a bit.
What a midfield that is, isn't it?
And then
Boyle right.
You know that?
Huh?
You play the season at you?
Did you, Dylan?
Aye. I get players player and like club player, aye. I get in team of the year and all, Scotland.
What, SPL?
Aye.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Is that when you got your move to Sunderland?
Me, Scott Brown, John McGinn. That was a midfield free.
You just never gave the ball away, didn't you know?
I did a couple of times, aye, but it's just I got a rhythm of just playing, and Parks and Lenny were just made me believe that I was a good player, do you know what I mean? And I was enjoying it, and then you just get momentum, and you know, it's like as a player, once you got that momentum, confidence, you just give me the ball and go play.
Yeah, and getting the right manager and style to suit you, mate.
And then you've got Scotty Allen and John and Hendo and that, who are always like Scotty's. I love playing with Scotty because he's always looking for the ball. See in the half turn, he's always looking for it. He's never coming short to just bounce passes. He's in behind the midfield looking for that wee killer pass, do you know what I mean? And then he's got that wee reverse.
Ball players, isn't it? It's just ball players. That's makes
I think we just all understood each other.
I was going to say that. He's all on the same wavelength, thinking of the same ideas. When he gets it, you're thinking, right, okay, hopefully that's...
But you look at Celtic and Rangers now, and you didn't get teams that are willing to go and play like that.
You don't.
I think Hearts
everyone's too scared to get beat, I think.
Hearts had a wee bit of that, but then they've come off it a wee bit.
Yeah.
Hearts, I think, were probably
Hearts
the start of the season.
but Bellingham pops it a bit, didn't he?
They could take points off the Old Firm, but now they've kind of, obviously with injuries and that, they've come off it a bit.
Right, wait till you hear this, because he sent me it last night. He's got a tribute to James Forrest that he's wrote, so take it away.
Who has?
Who, me or you?
No, you.
Oh, me. You're his
Oh. I was speaking to him though last night, and I gave Angie a bit. To him, he was like, don't talk shit, you suck up his arse every time you interview him. So he knew I was just trying to suck up to him because he obviously done it. But just, I actually think he is one of the most underrated players. Isn't he though? Like, he's so
I don't
special.
think he gets he's not appreciated like
the way he should be.
The numbers that he's got.
Yeah. I think players though at Celtic through the years since he's came through realise like how good a player he is. But I don't think people outside.
Do you think because he came through the youth? I think
Tierney though.
But then Captain McGregor as well, everyone buzzes off McGregor.
True.
McGregor's given this, for me, I was given the same level of performance season in, season out.
But so is Forrest.
I know, but Jamesy, and fair play to Jamesy's been awesome in the younger years and got to a point. And then when he had a few injuries and came out of the team, struggled to get back in and keep that same level. So although everybody presumed he was going to come back in and keep that level, he maybe tailed off just a wee bit. And see that wee bit at big clubs, fans pick up on it. But why? I don't know, because he's been out of the cold for quite a while now, and to come in at the weekend, start a game and score a hat-trick.
Massive, isn't it?
It's
I think for Andy
His
as well,
mentality is unbelievable.
Aye.
Unbelievable.
How many seasons does he score consecutively? Is it not a record in the SPL?
Aye, every season, for about 13 seasons, something like maybe more.
He scored consecutively. And like, what's that? Was it 97 he scored the hat-trick to take it to 100?
That's right, aye.
So 100 goals in, I don't know how many games he's played, but for a winger.
But see, I don't know where he's got a mentality. Fix it. I didn't know him as well. I went on loan to Swindon, came back for like 8 weeks, went to America together. He was my roommate. And he was the quietest wee guy ever. And now he just seems like he's got this mentality where he doesn't give a fuck what anybody thinks.
That's what he's
he
like.
just goes on
I
the
still think
pitch.
he's quite quiet though. I don't know if he just talks to me, but he's not like over the top, like
No, just
now,
keeps
like,
himself excelled.
I'm a Celtic player and I'm
Aye.
That's
like,
what I
on the
saw,
pitch,
yeah,
he'll get the ball, he'll
humble.
get at you, like he's confident that way, but off the pitch, like he's never
humble
too high,
guy.
never too low. He's like, you never hear him like asking to leave, like his agent asking, like putting him at the clubs, even when he wasn't
There's
playing.
never
It was
any
never really like
negative
negative. He
press.
just kind of gets on with it and
Aye.
just does his business, gets a chance, and now Andrew's, he must be a serious contender now. Playing.
I'll never forget his debut, mate.
John
Honestly.
O'Shea.
I absolutely rinsed John O'Shea, mate. Like nothing
How
I've
much
seen
did Lenny
before.
love him, by the way?
Lenny loved him.
Lenny-
That's
that's
just
the
it.
best- that's
You
his
play
biggest
the
boy
shame,
ever,
man.
innit?
Honestly, mate, I've not
Lenny
seen
was
it like
buzzing
it.
off him.
Not seen
He
it like it.
fucking destroyed
It
John
killed
O'Shea.
me, but because I went in
You were a right winger,
and he was
weren't you?
playing me as a winger, right? And then Jamesy would play every game, obviously, and then he'd be like, right, Dill, there's 15 minutes. And then after the game, that he's like, look at Jamesy, look at Jamesy. And I'm like, I'm not a winger that's going to get the ball and knock it up the line and pace somebody and cross balls. I'm like, every time I get it, I'm coming inside to try play. I was more a midfielder, just playing wide.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
brilliant,
So it was kind of killing me a bit, but he loved Jamesy, man.
But you were one. You were a pro blind competition with Jamesy, now.
I made up a lie though, and I actually made a lie up that much about it. I actually started to believe it because it was that many years. I made up that Lenny said that me and James were going to be the next McGee Di Maloney.
And he never.
I'd believe that.
Aye.
Mate, the game you get injured with your ankle,
Remember
that? I know you've probably spoke about it. I played in the right, you played in the left.
I mean, what about that?
And it was a Razor game at Leonardstown and we ripped it up.
Unbelievable.
Like, ripped it up. And I think potentially, like, both would have been the squad for the game coming up.
Kilmarnock away.
And then the last kick of the ball, mate,
playing.
he takes it to the byline, cuts it back, and I think the boy tackles
Smashed
you,
it,
does your
yeah.
ankle, mate, and you were out. And I think you never
Mate,
really...
Lenny came in to the physio room after it and was like, listen, he was asked Roddy what's wrong with him. At that time we won the shoe. We actually thought me.
Might be alright.
Was Roddy no point in your head?
He was checking it out, wasn't he? He was laughing. He was doing the wee thing fucking on your elbow, the reaction thing, wasn't he?
You were like that, so you kept doing that, didn't you?
So I always remember, and that for years side that poisoned my head. That went nuts. It drove me mad because when I was sitting there, Lenny came in and went, "How is he?" And Roddy was like, "I think 3 days he might be alright. We need to get scanned or whatever." He's like, "But you'll play a part with Kilmarnock next week, first team."
But your ankle was fucked.
So then that we got
Trying to get back and all
it was
that.
fucked. That was me out for a year after that. But at the time we won the shoe, we just thought maybe it's an
Fine
impact
lines,
injury.
innit?
Yes,
And
it's
Lenny
fine
said you'll
lines,
play a part. And that game against Kilmarnock, I think Celtic were getting beat 2-0. And James at I think James came on at half time or started, and they get back and they drew. And that was the turning point for Lennon at Celtic. But that could have been me. Do you know what I mean though? I hate that people say that, but
it was 3-0 down.
3-0 down and they came
That's
back.
right.
Back Stokes
I
and scored a
remember it.
world day. Remember Charlie played it back to the boy and he went through and scored.
Yeah.
But do you remember
James Fowler, because he ended up a coach at Sunderland, but he scored. He dinked the goal, I'm sure. James Fowler did.
James Fowler scoring a dink against you,
I
deserved
know,
to be sacked on the
But
spot.
after that game, his team talk was all about Jamesy. You're the one that pulled us out the shit. A young boy or whatever.
True,
Remember that?
aye.
Did you think he'd go on to have the career he did, to be honest?
Jamesy?
Uh-huh.
I thought he'd have went
Aye.
Aye.
What, like, as in...
Champions League, like top 4 England, top 6.
Did you... Well, I think he was linked for a
Top
wee bit.
six.
He was, at his peak, he was probably
Spurs had it in
top
that one,
of
didn't
them,
they?
but
Spurs,
I think it was different times. Like, you see boys now playing with Celtic, like Christie's, Armstrongs, and that, they all get moved down the road. Whereas Jamesy was doing that maybe 5-7 years before, but it wasn't really spoken
didn't
about
know
going down
that
the road.
Aye.
I think Andy Robertson that opened up that kind of gateway of getting down.
Yeah.
Whereas they were probably reluctant when Jamesy was flying. They were probably a bit like, don't know.
So see on Jamesy now in the current form, obviously coming on start the first. Is that his first start of the season?
First start of the season,
Aye, so scored a hat trick. He now has to go on and continue that. Because if he doesn't continue that,
I think he will.
he'll go back onto the bench and it'll be back into a Bada or whatever it is. He now has to, that'll give him unbelievable confidence to go on and be the old
Yeah.
Jamesy. And I think a top performing Jamesy Forrest is on that right side better than what they have in terms of made.
I was so happy when he scored that 100th goal, mate. I didn't
It was
know. I was
amazing,
actually sitting there smiling at the game, like Robbie Gibson. Brilliant for him though. Right, Aberdeen v Hearts. Obviously another injury for Hearts. That's probably why they've not been able to find last season's form. Hearts.
Aye.
As I think
How
it's Europe
been in the
and
full season,
just try to get that many. They've probably played a lot of games, do you know what I mean? And they're not used to, and just picking up injuries, and especially defensively, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Defensively is a big problem, I think.
Picking up so many
because they've
injuries.
got quality in other parts of the park. I just think that defensively they're playing a young guy, Nielsen, who
Lewis
is young,
Nielsen was at United last year.
still learning the game, and when you will make mistakes as a kid at the back. It's just part and parcel because you're not playing beside somebody that's that more experienced than yourself. They brought in lots of bodies through the summer. I think they signed maybe 7 or 8 players. Obviously, it kind of helped with the European schedule, but majority of them's injured. Majority of the team that played last year is injured. I don't know what the injury list is, but there must be at least double figures sitting in that treatment room. Mm-hmm. So, in the league, although they're sitting 7th, they're only 3 points behind. I think it's 3 points behind Hibs behind third. I think they've got a game in hand. I could be wrong. In fact, they do have a game in hand. They've played 10 inks and most of them played 11. So it's not a disaster yet. But I think Hearts fans have got to be a wee bit
a bit worried.
No worried. No, I think Hearts fans have got to kind of just
be realistic.
Be realistic now, because who's going to come in and I know.
No, Robbie Nielsen can't get.
No, I know, but
chance.
I'm not saying he's going to get. I'm not saying that at all. But there's some of the sections of the Hearts crowd are getting a wee bit restless, irate with what's going on.
He takes circumstances.
Listen, circumstances. You've got a half your squad on the treatment table, and you're trying to bring in a young boy that's just come through the ranks, never even heard of him until this season, and now he's trying to be your main centre half. He's made a couple of mistakes at the weekend. That's what happens. He's got to learn from them.
But even for him, Kev, I think he had been playing centre back, but I think he was playing right back Saturday.
Oh, was he right back Saturday?
There you go, you're kind of...
I know.
I think the 2 fullbacks have been playing centre half, haven't they? Kingsley and that as well.
Yeah.
Like, I like the boy Nielsen. I watched him in the cup game against Kilmarnock, and he was alright.
He was meant to be the next big thing at Dundee,
but
he'll be alright.
He's probably just learning his trade, and they're up against it, do you know what I mean? They're getting scrutinised, and I think, see the minute Europe gets put out of the way, and they concentrate in the league and maybe get a couple of people back, I think you'll start seeing them.
Did you have that at Hibs? Did you play in Europe and then...
We did.
Did that affect your league form?
No, we never got through to the group stages. They never had, I don't think it was that Conference League at the time.
No,
I'm not sure it was.
Usually been
Swedish team beat you, didn't you?
Malmo. We beat them, they beat us 1-0 here, we beat them 1-0 away, and then extra time penalties. Another one about John McGinn, very Lenny. So we went to pens. Right through, we beat them, right? They were the champions. We beat them, and the boys were buzzing. We felt like we were like fucking. At least we've had a go at it. Do you know what I mean? After the game, we're like no buzzing, but we had a go at it. We took them to penalties. Unlucky in the end. So John missed his. Just went kind of one of the sides. Keepers went the same way. Lenny's after the game going mad on the bus and that, and he's like, "Why the fuck did you put it there?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Why did you put it there?" Like he's put it in the corner. The goalies went the right way, and he's like, "Fucking put it there." And he's like, he's basically just telling him like where he should have put his penalty, and it's like, how can you just tell, like, hindsight, obviously I did put it there, but I picked my corner that I go,
and the goalie's
and John was gutted, man, the way back, and I think he apologised the day after and that. He's like, a penalty's a penalty, like, you can't do anything about it, do you know what I mean?
But you think it was good for John that he had somebody like Lenny on him all the time, probably made him mentally stronger, didn't it?
I think, for me, I can speak about myself, but he got the best out of me. At the time, I thought sometimes I was like, it's a bit harsh. Like now, when we were away for football, I was like, fucking hell, I can't really said that, I can't really done that. But when I look back now, I'm like, I played my best football now.
Yeah.
Because he was on me all the time. He gave me the belief at times, but he was on me. He was on everybody. Do you know what I mean? He was.
But he's only on you because he cares, mate.
I think that's it. See the minute he stopped. Because he did do it with some boys, like some wingers and that, weren't really doing it and that.
Who are you talking about?
You used to start having a laugh at me. Give me the headlock and all that. Like
so
me, man.
When he starts going that way, I think he's gave up on you, do you know what I mean? But when he's on you, I think he just...
Did you ever answer him back?
I had a few busted with. No, in front of the boys and that,
but just give
I had a few in the office with him, because obviously, when I think I'm right, I'll challenge it. No challenge him, but like I'll speak my mind, do you know what I mean? And when he's in that zone, man, he's not listening, do you know what I mean? Then he's fucking, he's in your face, do you know what I mean?
He is scary, mate.
He's scary, mate. He's a bulldog, mate. If he gets all day, like, he's ragdoll, yeah.
I've never felt an aura like it, an aura. An aura like it, my puff, by the way. And see, he walks down that corridor at Lennoxtown. That was terrifying, wasn't it?
Aye.
So obviously Dylan was at Celtic, but you came through at Rangers.
Aye.
So did Rangers pick you up for boys?
Well, it's a long story, but basically I came through Celtic youth, young. That's probably when yourselves and that were kind of reserves and hitting first teams and that. remember like you, Caddy and all them kind of boys, Charlie Grant and all that. Because my older brother Darren obviously was there.
Darren's a Hibs boy.
Aye, so Darren was like, just went full time. And I think he ended up falling it with William to stay in that.
Willie was jealous of the size of his body, that's why.
Oh man. But Darren had a wee fight with him and ended up leaving and went to Morton. And I was only young at the time. And as a family, we're like, we're gonna leave, do you know what I mean? But
so you were there first?
I was there, I was there. And obviously I won't have it now, but my mum had it for years. It was like voicemails and for Tommy Burns. So it was. Like phone and house phone. He's
because you were leaving like?
Because he heard I was leaving, so we told like Robert Wilson and that back in the day. And Tommy phoned up and he's like, listen, like my dad Kevin, he's like, don't make any rash decisions. Don't, like, to be fair, he was probably right. He was right in what he said. He was like, don't let Dylan suffer because of what happened with Darren. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's don't let that kind of get in the way. But I think as a family, they just kind of decided, nah, like, because Dylan's going to get to that stage and work under Willie, and I think
they'd had head loss with him, do you know what I mean? They're like, no, he's not treating my boy like that, blah blah. So I ended up leaving, and Rangers were always asking about me, so I ended up going there a few years there, and I went full time, 3 years full time, and then got to like 17, 18, and my contract was running. And I remember I had a conversation with my dad, and he's like, what's happening with your contract? And I went, he's like, you've only got 6 months left. And I was like, but I was comfortable, like I knew they liked me, like I was always with old, like I was training with reserves and sometimes getting to the first team like in a Monday or whatever, like needing numbers. So I knew I was liked. I mean, it was never a case of, oh shit, I'm leaving, they don't want me. It was just it just ran out because I was a young boy. And then my dad said to me, like, you need to go speak to them. So I went and speak to Craig Mahon and that. I was like, by the way, my contract's running out, like, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll speak to your agent, we'll get it sorted. It was just like blasé, do you know what I mean? We'll get it sorted. Great word.
You're
on fire on this,
but within that period, we played Celtic at Barrowfield and I was playing with Rangers and I scored, we beat them, played well, and Lenny and Parks were there. So that night, my agent phoned me, he's like, Gary Parker, Neil Lennon, all of you, they want to sign you. Because I could speak to clubs now, I was in my 6 months, you know what I mean? But Rangers are they're like trying to get the contract going, and next minute Gary Parker and Lenny have seen me and want to sign me. But I said no. I was like, nah, I'm loving it. Like, honestly, I loved it. Like, I was training. I thought I've got a pathway going now and playing, because I think Kyle Hutton made his debut against Man U.
Kyle Hutton, then
I think if he can play Champions League, then I've got a chance. Nah, that's harsh. Kyle was good to be fair at that time, and I think Dan Cole made his debut in the Champions League as well. So I had a path where I was getting there. Do you know what I mean? And then they were like, well, nah, we'd not take no for an answer, like, we'll come speak to your mum and that, right? So bring her over to Parkhead, but my mum's like, I'm not dealing with football, I don't want to go and speak to people in suits and that, right? So she's like, no, I'm not going. So they're like, well, we'll come to Milton.
That's brilliant.
So
Lenny rocked up to Milton?
So they're like, right, fine then, let's go. So my mum's cleaning the full house out, you can imagine, right, when you know somebody important's coming, so the whole house has got to clean it. So we're sitting in the living room, next minute, big Ranger pulls up, all the young team, all behind it, all walking behind it. So what I found out after it was, Lenny had pulled up the street, so it's like a one way, right, where I stay in Milton. Lenny's pulled up and stopped to put the window down. He's like all the young team, when they all used to hang out the streets, lads, where's McGeouch stay? I'll show you. Neil Lennon, like, let's go. So they walked him down to my house, they're like, he's in there. So he's parked up the big Ranger, we were all sitting in the living room. And I think it was John Park, Gary Parker and Neil Lennon come into the living room. Sat and had a cup of tea, biscuits and that, speaking away to my mum and that. Listen, this is what we see for him going forward and blah, blah. And my dad's obviously asking about like the first team and that, like obviously, because we grew up Celtic fans, you know what I mean, massively. He's like, what's the chances and that? He's like, listen, we can't guarantee anybody game time, but he'll be involved in my first team. Like, he'll be travelling, he'll be on the bench, he may get on, he'll be there. Like, we're not signing him as a reserve player, he's a first team player.
Wow. So
I was like, as soon as I heard that, they left. My agent stayed, spoke to them, and we were like, I need to go. Because it was a stage where if I didn't go, I'd never get the opportunity again, because potentially the way Rangers was going, I'd have been involved with the first team soon. So soon as you're involved with the first team, the Celtic thing you're not going across, are you? I know Kenny Miller done it years ago, but as a young boy, they weren't going to come take me when I was playing involved with the first team. So it was a case of, I either do it now or I'll never get a chance. And I took it, and obviously I go and make my debut and stuff.
Did you get any abuse?
I did a wee bit.
The goat,
Aye,
it was bad at the time.
Was
Really
it?
bad. Was it did you not get attacked at Kelvin Grove Park?
Aye. But before that, so that happened, right? And then I hadn't, like, so I was able to sign pre-contracts and stuff. So I signed a pre-contract, and then I was driving from Milton into Murray Park, and you go by Lamb Hill, and there's a wee news agents, and I never stopped. I know I used to get those and making that right at this time, but I never used to do this at this point. So I stopped, for somehow I was early or something, I thought I'm going to go to news agents and get a juice or something, because they probably. So I've pulled in, and I'm paying for it, and the papers are at the kind of bottom underneath the stand, right? And I've looked, and I'm like, double took, and it was like the back page of the paper, the sport, right? And it was just a picture of my face. I swear, you could probably find it somewhere. There's a picture of my full face on the back page. Dylan KO's Jers again.
Oh fuck.
Okay, so it was toxic at the time?
I think I was just turning 8. I was about 17 at the time. So I've picked the paper up and I'm like, I bought it obviously, but in the car I was like, Mum, this is what's happened. They're like, just come home. I was like, I can't go into training. Like, because it's out now, that's it. It's out. They didn't know. They didn't really know, like, nobody really knew. It was all, so I went home and I was like, I can't go in. So they phoned, they've obviously got wind of it, they phoned.
Who phoned Richard Gough?
So they phoned and said, listen, get yourself in. We need to have a meeting and stuff. Went in, spoke to them. We kind of sorted it out. Like, they're like, if he doesn't turn up for training, we're going to need to fine him, blah, blah. So I was like, I'll just go in and train. And then a couple of weeks go by and I was kind of training with the youth team now. I kind of get kind of put to the side a wee bit. I was training with the youth team. I wasn't training with reserves and that anymore. So I was put to the side. And then one day they're like, Dylan, gaffer wants you. And I'm like, my gaffer or the gaffer, do you know what I mean? Like Walter Smith gaffer. And they're like, aye, the big dog.
Mate, how's your
So
ass?
see Murray Park, it's like youth team run here, and then there's that big corridor, and then the first team's run there. So you don't see them really, they can run the back entrance, like you don't see them. So like you need to walk our way up. I walked into the office and it was like this. It was Walter Smith, Alan McCoy, Kenny McDowell, Ian Durant, all sitting like this, right?
Oh my God.
And he comes, son, sit down. So I sat down and I was shitting myself, man. I was shitting myself, thinking they're going to go mental. Like, what's happening? And I explained it. I went, listen, I've signed a pre-contract. They went, listen, doesn't matter. See that pre-contract? Does not matter. Doesn't mean anything. See if you want to stay at Rangers Football Club, you can stay. And I didn't expect that take on it. I thought they were going to go mental, but they didn't. They showed me love, do you know what I mean? They were like, we see you as like potentially going to the first team. Can't promise you anything like game time and that, but you're eventually going to be in our plans. But if you want to stay, it's up to you. So go think about it. And kind of left it at that.
Oh, brilliant.
And that's how I always, like, every time I speak about, like, kind of, like, that time, I never had to say a bad word about Rangers. I'd never do. Because they were great handling that way. And to be fair, it got to a stage where I was like, listen, I've made my mind up. I want to go. Like, we grew up Celtic fans. I used to be the ball boy outside of the pitch. Shaking my man's eyes. Like, pull a picture of me, you and your man in the back. But, like, I used to do all that, do you know what I mean? So for me to go and play,
that was brilliant, didn't that, when you're a ball boy, wasn't it? No, seriously.
Honestly, Champions League nights, it was brilliant. But for me to go do that, it was like, that was a dream, do you know what I mean? That was my dad's dream, it was my, like, the family dream. So it got to a stage of like, listen, if it was Rangers, we'd be in the same boat. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you were a Rangers fan, you would be here. And they were like, shake my hand. And
it's a great story, right? But it's mad that even at kids level, what's happened with Rangers now with Morelos and Kent, even at kids level, they let it run to a point that
clubs
it was
like
too
that,
late. It's like, surely when your best kids are performing, you get them tied under and they don't allow that to happen.
I think it was just timing. It was just timing, and I think, see if I didn't play Rangers, Celtic that day,
so
and Lenny that were there, they probably wouldn't even bothered. They'd have been like, oh, he left Celtic before, he won't come back. But the fact they seen me, Parks must have been like, who is this wee guy? I wasn't in the youth team when he was here. Who is he? Ask questions. Oh, by the way, he's 6 months left. And then once I got wind of that, it kind of changed.
So I mean, so just 2010, roughly? Is that 2010?
I think it was.
Did Lenny take your shoes off in your house?
He didn't JB's, did he? No, he never.
Nah, I'm only kidding.
What did he take with his tea?
About 6 sugars. About 6 sugars. As soon as he finished his tea, he put it down, he's like, 2 up.
But see, for people who say, like, I think there's this perception of Lenny that he doesn't do anything. I think people think that's, a lot of fans think, Lenny just probably turns up the train and goes up the road. There he is doing a youth team game, then driving to somebody's house at night to go and go. So
that's what changed everything.
You only ever hear the negative stories, Simon, and some managers. You never hear the bits that go above and beyond.
I'll never.
Do you remember him walking in the building?
Aye, it was a big deal at the time. I don't, wasn't it? As you say, it was all the papers. And
Was it grabbed a bit of momentum on the press?
There's a picture of Walter Smith for you, Walter Smith and Army Coist at training.
Training, aye. That was just after that happened.
That was on the papers, no? That
was
so it was
just
getting
after
really,
that, aye.
and it became, and then the one, I don't know if you like the Kevin Grove part, was that true, that?
I think so. After the meetings and that with Walter Smith and that, they were like, listen, you're going to be back training the way you were with reserves and playing. See, if you want to play games, keep yourself fit, because you don't want to go there no playing.
That's so good for you.
Like, listen, no, but I think that time it was like a proper like reserve league. I think it was 19s maybe at the time, 19s league. It was like fighting it out with Celtic and that for the league. So they were like, we want you to play. So I started playing, and I was playing. I was like, I know I'm leaving, but I'm just going to try play and do my best. So I played, and then we played Hearts at Money Park. Went by somebody, jumped up in the air, landed, broke my metatarsal into.
Oh, fuck.
So I was like, fuck's sake. So I went. So we left it. They never pinned it. They kind of just left it, let it settle. I was on crutches down at Kelvin Grove Park. It was the royal wedding.
Aye, so it was.
It was a royal wedding, I think 2010.
It was.
And then I'm standing there with crutches, my brother, a few of the boys fit my way. And I don't think it was Union Bears at the time, but it was like something similar. It was like a big Rangers group were there. And my brother knew one of them. And they were all kind of looking up and saying things and that. So one of them come up and he was like, listen, they're not happy Dylan's here. So my brother had lost it.
Who was at the holidays?
Probably Andy. It was probably Andy. He said, listen, damn, we're not happy he's here.
But I ran up and I heard about it.
No, you never.
I went out and finished.
I was in a bush hiding watching it.
Holding the jacket.
So they asked you to leave the Kelvin.
So they like basically asked me to leave, and my brother, and there was about 5 years. No, that it wasn't at Green Street if I could take them on, but like my brother's like, are you fucking serious? Like went in the defensive. Do you know what I mean? He's like, what's the problem? He's only fucking 17. Like, get a grip. Go enjoy your day. And it ended up a wee bit fucking saying things and that blah blah. But and I was in crutches, so I was like, I'm not going anywhere here. And I'm fucked. I'm not running or nothing. If I'm getting leathered, I'm getting leathered.
You don't mess with the boys in Milton.
No, you fuck.
But then what it done, more positive stuff. I will never ever forget your goal.
Oh, that goal was a joke,
my
mate.
God.
Nobody want to tackle you for that.
What are you thinking of no passing?
Do you know the prop? Like, do you know who I went by in the middle of the pitch? Jim Goodwin.
Did you?
Aye, 6 minutes, wasn't it?
Aye. So
You never got an elbow?
see when he came in and I wasn't playing, I was like the boys, I was like, yeah,
That's why.
watch this. I went, that's it, he holds grudges. I went, I retired him.
So see when you pick...
I got another one about Jim Goodwin and all, but like, so when I picked that goal, right, but there's another, we'll go back to that, but another time, we were playing live in the telly, right? Typical Lenny again, man. I've come on right wing, the boys come into me and I've like flicked it around the corner, right? And Jim Goodwin's read it and he's come in scissored, right? But like high, so he's won the ball but left a bit on me and I've went fucking flying, right? And the mics are right beside the dugout and he's jumped up, right? And Lenny, next minute, is right beside the dugout, so Lenny's ran out and he's like, fucking Jim Goodwin, I can't do the accent, he's like,
You're doing so well.
he's like, you think you're a fucking hard man? You're a fucking fanny, right? on the mics, and I'm positive Lenny got a ban
For saying that?
For I'm sure he got called up to the SFA or whatever at the time for shouting fucking like swearing on the mics. I'm sure he did, and it was because Jim Goodwin smashed me.
Brilliant.
But aye, it was Jim. It was Jim.
So on the goal, what, the ball lands to you on the edge of the box?
It was Kenny McLean, and I played with Kenny during like Scotland games and that whatever. So I was like, he always wants on that foot. Do you know what I mean? So the boys felt with him. And honestly, I thought he's chopping this. And he's went to like shoot, but chopped it. And I read it and took it. And then I've just ran. Jim's came in and I've flicked it by him. I don't know where I get the pace for it. I used to be quite quick to be fair back in the day, but I kept running. And then it got to a stage where it was like, I think it was like 4v1 or 4v2 or something. I had Samaras out there, Stokes out there, Hooper or something through the middle or whatever. And I'm running and I'm thinking, fuck, who do I pass to here? Like,
are you actually thinking that?
I swear I always remember that. I'm like, who do I pass to? And I'm running. And then I'm like, I don't want to pick the wrong pass because it's so obvious. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I got to a stage where I was at the edge of the box and everything had closed up. Like the runs had stopped. Everything was like in front of me. And I was like, fuck. So I've like come inside and then somebody else came. I've come inside again and then shot. And it's Sammy, the goalkeeping coach at Aberdeen.
Oh, Craig Sampson.
Who ended up keeping Sunderland. He was in goals, so I used to show him it all the time. He's like, it's a deflection, I'm like, behave. But
was that your debut?
That was my home debut. I came on the week before. Man. I came on at Motherwell, and my dad and that were in, because I was on the bench a few times, and my family went to all the games because they thought like, oh, he's getting on. And then I never got on a few games, and then Motherwell were 1-2, he brought me on for the last 10 minutes, and then the week later, Parkhead.
So was your dad again?
All my dad and that were there.
Brilliant, man. Is that one of the best feelings you've had?
Aye. See when See, at the time, like, I didn't appreciate it at the time because you're just caught in, you've been the same, like, when you're a young boy at Celtic, you just get caught up in it all and you're just riding the waves, do you know what I mean? But now, like, I'm older than that and I look back and I think, like, fucking hell, man, like,
that's brilliant.
That's mad, like, to think I've done that, do you know what I mean? It's good, do you know what I mean?
That was some Celtic team and all.
Who was that? So what we've got here? Brown,
But I'm sure, did you know, I know you said Lenny plays you right, but you played centre mid a lot as well, didn't you?
Sometimes, but...
And the centre mids were unreal.
Mate, that's what I mean, and when I think back, I'm like, I was
proper
never breaking into that team, centre mid. I wasn't.
Martin O'Neill's team would batter that team now.
No?
Nah, I don't think so about it.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Wait, didn't Martin O'Neill's team...
But Lenny is fucking just
Not
playing in front of the
Fuck Barca
18-yard box.
No. Lenny's, Martin O'Neill's team batters that team. Sutton,
More
Larson and
physical,
Hartson.
more physical, to be fair.
Who was the centre halves?
Charlie and Dan Restorovic.
Big Dan. Nah, you can go up. Chad O'Reilly was right back.
Who was the best players on that team, man? Who really
No,
stood
but the
out?
midfielder, you had
Key was a
Kyle.
joke. Key
you had
was unreal.
Key was good.
Kyle, Key,
good.
Kyle's just
Wanyama,
all
Brown, Joe Ledley. That was the five.
Workman like them 5-4. Paul Lambert and Petrov, come on.
No, that is a matter.
Well, you think Wanyama went to the Prem,
That's true.
Ledley went to the Prem.
He went to Prem.
He went to the Prem.
Swansea.
Scott Brown obviously know what he done.
Yeah.
And Joe.
So Lenny went back to Prem.
Somebody else we mentioned.
Joe Ledder did.
Joe Dennis.
Crystal Palace.
But they're all top players. Do you know what I mean?
How's Paddy?
Oh mate, I love Paddy. Yeah.
How good was he?
I loved him, man.
Best guy ever.
One of the best players I've ever seen, man. Honestly, he actually ran faster with the ball at his feet. When we used to do runs, he was slow.
What about when you put his team on training?
He just dribbled me. He was
I
just,
know, but when you're in his team, how was he?
moniest guy ever, man. Moniest guy
Who
ever.
else would
Him
you
and
have?
Barry Ferguson, two moniest
How
guys.
did you Fergie?
Well, when I was a youth boy at Rangers, so I used to train a few times. And Fergie, honestly, I was scared of him, man. I was like,
Everybody that's come
I don't
across
want to be in
Fergie's
his
fucking
team
scared though.
because if I don't do the right thing, he's going to rip my head off.
Aye.
Like, see, one time there was a young boy, he gave the ball to him and he's made an overlap. And the young boys used him as a decoy and he's come inside and shot and missed. And Fergie's made an overlap and I'm like, oh no. And he's fucking went ballistic. The game's going on, like they're still playing, he's turning round and he's giving him all sorts. He's like, you fucking give me the ball. If I make a run, you give me the ball. But honestly, what a player.
I'll never, still to this day, never forget the day I don't know if me and him were doing extra outside practicing free
As
kicks.
you always used to do, remember?
Oh, the only reason I done it, I mean, I'll tell you the truth now, the only reason I done extra was because the one day the manager was could see onto that pitch. So I just went out so he could see us doing extra. I wasn't even fucking doing it, I was just hitting balls or whatever. So we were out till about 3-4 o'clock that day. So Gary Parker wondered it. And we were like, he's going to say brilliant doing extra. She's like, again, he's a playing me and the gaffer that he did tennis. Mate, what about that?
Aye,
mate,
too,
we just
honestly.
kept hitting the net.
Who did the batter?
Bag
We
of nerves.
slaughtered us back. No, but Lenny cheated.
But they were good, but see, to be fair,
No, they
like
were great.
Lenny
Parker was meant to be a joke back in the day.
By Gaza, remember Gaza
Aye.
fly kicked him?
I used to talk about that all the time, man.
You still put that picture up.
Have you not seen that video?
No.
The
Gaza
FA
flight.
Cup final?
Is that Gary Parker?
Mate,
Gail
the one the ball falls, and Gaza like fucking hits him there. That's Gary Parker.
Charlie put it on the computer. Charlie put it on the
That's Parks.
computer screen.
Is that him?
Parks laid it.
Aye, that's Parks. He's rolling about that.
But did you not say Kevin Bridges came in as well?
That was that
Aye,
day after
aye.
that he did tennis. So like, we were all having to see when we first went in. Lenny and Parks were having a pure laugh with us, but it so quickly turned proper sour. We're like, what the fuck is going on here with you? So after that, we actually ended up making the youth team for 2 seasons after that, and at 8 in the morning to play heated tennis because how dog shite we were that
Did they
day.
get better at it?
And they,
Aye.
and they were good. Like,
But
to be
just
fair, Lenny
not-
was good. Like, see his wee touches, he couldn't run right, but see his touches and that, he was clever, he was good. Parks was a good player.
So after we got a fucking arses handed to us,
And then Bridges came in.
Kevin Bridges.
Why
walked
did
in.
Bridges come in?
They were coaches were playing a game in Indoor Hall, so it was
Now,
late.
like
It
a
was
Friday,
late.
I used to
they
do
play
that on
like
Friday,
the staff.
remember,
I think Bridges had took off, like with his, like obviously his comedy and that, and then people started talking about him, a big Celtic fan. So he came in, I think they invited him in, 'cause I think we used to drink down at the Drake or something like that, and he's like, come in, train with us, play with us. So Bridges came in.
And then
But he-
Clarky, but he gave him soaps
Aye,
out
he
there.
never had soaps. He's like, I've not got any soaps. I was like, just go and ask Clarky. Clarky will give him up the road. He comes back down 2 minutes later. He's like, he won't give me them. And I'm like, oh, come on, it's a pair of socks, man. He's got about 1,000 pair of socks up there. And we got up to see him, and he was so reluctant to give him a pair of socks. Eventually gave him a pair, but
Was he quite nervous?
I don't even think he probably didn't even give him a pair. He
quiet,
probably
he's
ran about the
quiet.
bare feet. Honestly,
And was he any good at football? No,
No, rubbish.
I can't remember.
No, it's no slagging me. We absolutely
No,
did
Oh, was he?
No, but like, see
remember.
somebody doesn't know how to play football.
Was
But you could probably say the same about us trying to do comedy, wouldn't you?
Aye.
that what you're trying to do? Your comedy, isn't it?
No, I'm just saying I was doing the hydro. He's probably like, what the fuck are they doing with all these sheets of paper?
But did you play the Real Madrid game or just Dylan?
No, it was there in Philadelphia. So, but he would already went out to the first team. He'd went early, so the first team travelled out. It was when Ronaldo had just signed.
No, we played a Champions League game, and then we flew for wherever it was, straight to Philadelphia, and then used Metas, I think.
But Stevie Friel...
So you're part of the jobbies that got flung over?
No, we didn't go where? So we're playing and we're on the bus going to Sunderland to play Sunderland at Sunderland's training ground. Mate, here this man, so the first team's away here. Mate, Ronaldo and Kaká's just signed for Real Madrid.
Wow.
Stevie Friel gets a phone call on the bus. And somebody said one of the boys have to go here. It was Carl McGregor.
Was it?
So he had to leave the bus, he had to get off the bus, go back to Celtic and get a flight for... Could not believe it was his name.
That was madness, man. Madness, man.
How long did you go to Philadelphia? How long did you go to America for?
We went for a few days, I think, but I got a badging, man, all this. Do you know
what?
what?
You got your jaw, didn't you?
I snapped my jaw, mate.
You snapped your jaw?
Snapped it, I got a plate put in and everything.
Because you done that tweet about me a few days ago, wasn't it?
It's still in the room, aye?
Aye, I've still got a plate in.
Is that why your chin's like that?
A wee bit, aye.
No, but
I might ask you why you got the up done so you can get his chisel.
So what happened? You're playing a game and he
So we played, mate, aye, and it was this boy Sahin, remember, went to Liverpool?
Aye, Nuri Sahin.
What's his name?
Turkish boy?
Nuri Sahin, aye,
Dortmund,
Turkish boy. But mate, it was fucking Zaluska's fault, man. The goalkeeper. Honestly, I hate goalies, man.
Remember, did he try to...
How, so what?
So the ball goes back to him, mate. We're playing well, right? We're playing against Real Madrid and that. We're actually playing alright. The ball goes back to Zaluska, mate. And it's on his left foot, but big Daft Zaluska's like ran round it like this. Curly toed it, mate, like side footed it, right? Big floppy thing like that.
What big floppy thing?
Aye. That hanging there. But flopped it right in the middle of the pitch, right? And I'm playing wide now. I would, again, a winger, right? I don't know how, but I'm playing wide. And I'm thinking, I'm looked and nobody there, and I thought, fuck, I need to go for this header here. So I'm like running across, right? He's playing centre half, the boy Sahin, I think. I'm running across and I've jumped and flicked it. And if I've flicked it, I'm up in the air. And Sahin fucked me, man. Like, I think it was his shoulder hit me. And I was gone.
So,
and I was
that's why you should never kick the ball at the pitch. Goalkeeper.
But see, if you're going to kick it, fucking put your lace through it. Do you know what I mean? He's actually like, it was like a side foot. So it was just dangling for a centre half just to go fuck you. And I'm the dafty that's ran and flicked it on. And then,
because see if you're not jumping for that, mate, Lenny's kidding.
If I don't, he's like, you need to go for it. So I went for it, woke up in the hospital.
What, as in you were KO'd?
I was, mate, watch the video, mate. I am KO'd in the air, land, and I'm lying in the flare, gone. The all Commons runs there, fingers down my mouth, grabbing my tongue. They've all jumped and tapped me. The doctors ran over. It was actually a Real Madrid doctor, but the Celtic doctor had to fly home for something, so it was a Real Madrid doctor, which was decent and stuff. So we still got that. But he's obviously sorted it out. The fucking, what's it called? The paramedics have ran on, and then they're all waiting for it for 5 minutes. That gets sent away, so everybody's clapping as if, oh, he's getting up. But I'm still gone. Next minute, the ambulance comes. They've reversed an ambulance at the side of the pitch, and the proper heavy duty bed comes out. The big wheels and all that, do you know what I mean? They've wheeled it onto the pitch, and you see the you see the fans, mate, and the video, man, they're all like, oh no, he could be dead. He could be dead. No, seriously.
You say you walked in the hospital and Lenny had a nurse.
Mate, it was him with that Joker thing on. Now with the mask, all kitted up, trying to touch my bobby. I'm like, Slaney, it's up here, lad.
So is that why McGregor got flew over because of what happened to you?
No, that was during the game, I think.
Right.
So that must have been
Did
before.
Real Madrid not do something for you?
I don't know. They put a tweet out. I think Mourinho or something said something.
Mourinho said something about him.
I think he said something about he was playing well or something like that. I hope he gets well. Mate, it was honestly, like, hands down, it was probably my best game.
Was it?
Aye. If you ask anybody that watched me when I was younger than that at Celtic, you'd say that was probably his best game.
Playing where, left wing?
Right wing. Mate, honestly.
Who was left back?
I loved it. Like, it was because it was that pure freedom. See the team. Lenny, I spoke about this recently somewhere, but Lenny came in, right, and then he had the team sheet. And obviously everybody's desperate to find out who it is, do you know what I mean? But it was a friendly, so you're thinking, they'll play a few scuddies, do you know what I mean? Like, and a few boys will be in the bench, Ronaldo and that. So Lenny's got the board up, and he's like with the pen. Casillas, right? And I'm like, right, he's like, Ramos, Arbeloa, who's a Contral, I think it was boy Contral, Portuguese boy, right? Contral, Kaká, Alonso, Ronaldo, Benzema. I don't know who played it wide. Some top player, mate.
Bale or something? No,
it wasn't Bale. It was somebody else, like Isco or somebody big. Right? I can't remember who it was, but somebody. Di Maria. No, it wasn't Di Maria. Somebody big. It might have been, but like World 11, and they wrote it up, mate, and the boys are just pissing themselves laughing. They're all like, "Fucking hell, man!" Like, wow. But we're buzzing, mate. We're buzzing. So stand in the tunnel, right, and you know your strips, man, a bit baggy and that, innit? So you're like when you used to go with Scotland, that every strip was like an extra large, it was like hanging off you. So we're standing pure white, sunburn that with the sun, and you're looking at them, mate, they're like all white, Ronaldo's like fucking biceps, pecs out to there, not a, like perfect, do you know what I mean? Yeah. You're like, Jesus Christ, man.
What a game,
but the full team was there, man. It was brilliant.
You couldn't eat, no, I remember when you came back, you had something, do you know something on your face? You couldn't eat for ages?
I couldn't eat for 6 weeks, mate, 6 weeks I couldn't eat.
Fuck.
But no, it made that worse. I could train, but no contact. So I was basically just running around the pitch.
Just shows you, because you obviously you were playing brilliant that game. If you went home after playing that, you maybe started.
You know,
that's pre-season.
Just into pre-season. I was a qualifier.
Like a young kid and you're in the first team.
See Cal McGregor.
Cal never broke in.
Notts County then.
Cal was, like, to be fair, at that time, Cal was behind, like, Cal was still, like, with the youth team, you know what I mean? He went the hard way and actually went out and loan, done well, come back. Rogers come in and then just took it to another level, do you know what I mean?
So see on Cal as well, when you did you train with him in there?
I thought, I always did think though, when he came up to the first team, I was like, he's something else, this boy.
Steve, did he always play in the middle of midfield?
No, I remember him as a
he played at 10 sometimes.
I remember when he was a kid.
With the games that we were involved together in that, I would play like right, he would play left. Like, because there was never any space, as we said, who was in the middle. Like, he wasn't going to drop all the kind of big players and put a young boy at 18, 19 in there, do you know what I mean? What was
Wanyama like? Do you remember that tweet? I ate spaghetti or something. Remember that? Was he a legend?
He's a class.
Is it was spaghetti bolognese? Was it Alec Bolognese?
I like spaghetti.
He was amazing, wasn't
he? He was amazing.
He just used to shove everybody off the ball.
Mate, Barcelona game, I think the 2-1, you'll find it. The ball comes to him, right, and he's took a touch, like, because he wasn't like amazing technically, but he's just so powerful. Ball's come in, it's bounced up, and I think Xavi and Iniesta have ran into him, and I remember him like flicking up, like just flicking up there as if he's playing like head tennis, right? And just went like, fuck, like launched him, mate. Wee Xavi and Iniesta like flying, and he's like took it in the chest and like ran away with the ball and passed it, and I'm like, how can he do? Like, if that's me, they two are taking the ball off me. He's just launched the two of them off the ball.
He was good.
You're obsessed with his time at Hibs, aren't you?
What? Who's?
Dylan's.
I thought you said me.
Dylan's time at Hibs? How would I be?
Kept sitting in the group saying, can't wait to ask you about Hibs, so now's your
That
chance.
was brilliant, that time.
How was the time at Hibs?
Dylan, that was just amazing to see you developing that team.
It was good, mate. It was, obviously I was at Celtic and that, and I was getting wee bits involved, but I never really took off. I had to go and play.
Was Lenny the Hibs manager?
No,
who was
Stubbs.
So Lenny, you left Celtic under?
So I left Lenny left that summer, and then Ronnie Dyer came in. And I played a few pre-season games. I quite liked me, to be fair, but again, play me wide. And I knew my own game. I was like, I'll never break into this team playing wide, because James and that are out there, I'm never going to play with them. So it got to a stage where he kind of knew that himself, that I wasn't going to play wide, so I wasn't really playing. And then Stubbs came in at Hibs. I think they just went down to the Championship. They had 8 players. I remember phoning me. He's like, Dylan, I need you in. I've got 8 players. And I was like, right, okay. He's like, come play for me. Fucking, you play every game. And I was like, right, brilliant. So I went and signed with them on loan for 6 months. No, I think the season on loan. And then once I played every week, that feeling like training all week, knowing you're playing the Saturday and the buzz of the game after the game and all that. Because at Celtic, I was there, we'd won games, but you don't feel part of it. You know yourself, like you don't, see when you win in leagues and that, like when you're not playing regularly, you don't feel part of it. Do you know what I mean? You feel just a spare prick. Do you know what I mean?
So when you come back on loan, was your contract then up at Celtic, or did you have like
no, Celtic didn't let you do that. They always make you sign the next year before you go. I was just saying. It's like you can go on loan to Swindon, you need to sign a 10-year deal. You're like, what?
I think I had a wee bit back and forward with Peter at the time about that, but in my case it was like, listen, like you never paid a lot to get me.
I'm not going to play here.
If you want to see me doing well, you need to go and let me go play. Do you know what I mean? Like, go and let me play, and we'll take it from there. But I went and played, and then eventually Hibs were like, we want to sign him, so we were like, right, you go. So I went permanently. And then, to be fair, that season, I think it was Hearts and Rangers in the Championship.
Hearts won it,
so Hearts ran away with it. Yeah. We played Rangers, they beat us in the semis, and then I think Motherwell beat them in the playoff. Right. But it was a good season. Do you know what I mean? And see, I played every week and had that buzz. Once I went back to Celtic, I was like, I can't go back to that. I need to go play. Even though I feel like I was gutted to leave, I had to go play. I was getting old, do you know what I mean? I was like, I need to go play every week.
And you're obsessed with Alan Stubbs as a manager?
No, I did. I done a course. I done a cover course and he was on it.
Did you?
A what course?
A Cueva course. Cueva skills to be toe taps.
How's that came in? Does that came in handy, that course?
No, really not. It's not really helped me.
Is that still a thing, that course?
Don't know.
You done it? You got it on your CV?
What, Corva?
Dylan, see when Stubbs left and you heard Lennon was coming back, him and you were a bit, oh fuck. Because sometimes the way Lennon is, sometimes it's really scary, do you know what I mean?
A wee bit. Because we never left it in bad terms, but basically Tony Watt, I think, went somewhere on loan. Or it might have been Callum McGregor, it was one of the two that went on loan somewhere. I went on loan to Coventry, right? This is before Lenny left. So I went on loan, come back.
Elvis?
Aye, big Elvis.
Big Daddy.
So I went on loan, I come back, and my season was finished basically, but Stevie Frail was like, no, come back in, train with the first team, right? So I'm like, right, I'm fucking finished. So I've come back in, and I think Park said to me, it was like the last day, 2 days to go before the season finished, right? And Parks was like, oh, Lenny's going to speak to you. So I was like, right, sound, like, see what's happening. Last day, now it's the last day, Lenny still not spoke to me, right? And I'm like, I'm dressed in it. And then I'm like, I'll wait a bit. Parks, where's Lenny? Oh, he's away. And I'm like, right, so that's it then. He's like, that's it then, right, we'll see you in summer. And I'm like, so, I was gutted a wee bit. I was like, he didn't even ask how my loan went or nothing, like, how was it, like, nothing. So I was a bit like, fuck's sake. And then, so I went on loan, went to Hibs, signed. Stubbsy, obviously, eventually we won the cup. Stubbsy moved to Rotherham. And then I was on holiday, I think I was in Dubai or something, I got a text saying, Lenny's got the Hibs job. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, I don't, no that, oh no, he's terrible, like, because it wasn't, but it was like, fuck, like, how's this going to be? Is he going to come in and go, I want him out, or I'm going to rekindle your fucking career? Like, I didn't know what it was, do you know what I mean? And how was it? Eventually, it was like, fucking, I know you're a good player because I've had you, do you know what I mean?
Did he speak to you right away though?
He was fine, it was fine. But it was more me, do you know what I mean? I was a wee bit like uptight thinking, fuck, I don't know how this got played here.
Can you remember what he first said to the Hibs squad when he came in?
I can't. I can't. I think it was probably just basic, just about winning mentality. Like that kind of thing. I'm going to build a winning mentality at this club, from top to bottom.
And a guy who's absolutely flying. He scored his overhead kick. Come
down. I've not seen that one.
Mate, he scored the overhead kick. I had the weekend. Belter, mate, posting in, what a goal.
He's had some turnaround by the way since that hydro.
Mate, well, you think January, right? Because I've same agents and stuff, and we'll talk about things, and he was like, don't get too down about things. He's like, football can change so quick. He went, Cummins, he went, in January he was at Dundee, couldn't get in the squads, on the bench, couldn't get on the pitch.
But he was in the hydro.
He was on the hydro steaming, obviously, but right, so that probably doesn't help him. But in the case of the same season, he's potentially going to go to the World Cup.
Amazing.
Do you know what I mean?
Did you not fancy that?
I don't speak to him regularly. I probably would, mate. I probably would.
Well, especially after that Australian accent you've done with Lenny. Fucking made for it, innit?
You imagine Lenny there? Jesus.
What about like American? That's obviously shut down now. Well, they'll be shutting down soon. Is that no a possibility to go over there, or?
I think the American thing I think it's hard. Like,
are you family? You got family and stuff?
I've got a wee one.
This is a
one of the best. One of the best I've seen.
Aye, really?
Oh, darling.
You got a ring on her finger?
I have, aye.
Good man.
See, how did Lenny take to Cummins?
I think he knew he needed him, so he kind of kept him. You need to keep a leash on him. That's the thing with Cummins. Like, I think going away has helped him, because see when he was hanging about Edinburgh with the boys he grew up with and that.
Yep.
Like, they're probably no meaning it, but they're bad influence on him. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I'd been nights out with him and he's sound. What a laugh, you know. He's like, he's funny as anything, right? But see when he's in a round crowd, he could do stupid stuff.
Yep.
Whereas when he was with us, we'd keep him in check. Like, Jason, don't do that. Don't do that. Now, almost like parenting him, because you had to.
Yeah.
Because see when he goes and look, like, you seen him when he went down the road and he was sharing a flat with that boy and he's smashing the place up.
That was when he went inside with Steve Evans.
Aye. So like, when he's in the round crowd, he can get out of hand. So the best thing's happened to him going away, restarting his career, and he's flying now. Hopefully he might realise that that's the lifestyle he needs to have to get to where he needs to get to, do you know what I mean?
Would he do funny things in the club?
Funny, mate. He was funny.
Remember Kim and Grado?
So I would talk about Grado, right, when Grado was just coming about, right? So a few of my mates from back home used to go and watch him in like wee local community halls.
What, wrestling?
Aye, the wrestling thing, right?
Your mates virgins?
No, they're mad, mate. They're
like that,
no, they're
wrestling?
mad drinkers and that, they love it. And they're like, nah, what a laugh, because it's like a night out. It's like, now the song on that tune's on that, right? And it's like, it's not just like, oh, I got to watch the wrestling, it's like a proper disco night out, right? So they all used to go and they all used to talk about it, and I was kind of in it a wee bit, and I was like, oh, he's quite funny. So me and Jason would talk about it. Nobody else would care, right? So I wasn't training one day for something. Jason wasn't training one day because he had a sore back. His back was sore, right? So he's like, I'm not training. So me and him are in the gym. Somebody came in and was like, oh, Grado's out there taking penalties with the boys. I'm like, Grado, what, the boy does wrestling? He was like, he's doing like a mad video thing with the boys. And I was like, no way. So me and Jason are buzzing, man, right? So he's come in, he's having a bit of lunch, and I was like, Jason, fucking wrestle him. Let's wrestle him. Mum will go in and just wrestle him. So he's like, let's go. So it's screw arms and legs next minute. You've seen the video with Jason, haven't you? So we've wrote Cum Dog. That's the Cum Dog thing came about, right? Cum Dog. He's got the hang when he's and all that, and pair of slips on, right? And Grado's having his lunch next minute. Jason's busting the door, he's like, yeah. Right?
Lenny was clapping that, wasn't he?
Like Hulk Hogan, Lenny and that were loving it, man. He loved all that, so it was like, called him out, right? So Grado was like obviously buying into it, so he's jumped up and all, right? They two are like fake fucking fighting. The boys are all pissing themselves, Lenny and that, loving it, right? I think there was like directors and that in as well, guys with suits and that, they were like, what the fuck is this place, man? Trying to have a lunch, do you know what I mean? There's a guy resting a pair of slips. But so they two are fighting and doing all that. Jason's out for training with a bad back. Next minute he's got Grado, right? He's not a wee guy, do you know what I mean? Grado's fucking...
He picked him right up today.
So he's went the first time, right? So he's got him in, he's trying to get him up, so he's went, back down again. And he's eventually got him up and like launched him onto a couch, mate, done a flying thing. 1, 2, 3, boys are all buzzing that. But I just laugh, mate, when I think like, the reason he wasn't training that day, he had a sore back. Next minute, he's got Grado, mate, upside down, fucking power driving him through a couch.
You can imagine Lenny getting... Lenny does love characters.
He does love characters.
He loves it. He would hate boys that are boring. That like, he's like they've not got the character to play in my team because you know what he's like. The way he shouts at people and that. If he doesn't think they can handle it, they're gone. Do you know what I mean? They're gone.
Nah, definitely. What was the dressing like? Remember he tried to chip the goal? Was it penalty? Semi-final.
Aye, that was mad. I wasn't playing.
Stubbs, wasn't it?
It was Stubbs. Aye, it was. But mate, that was the year we won the cup, the Scottish Cup. So
David Gray year?
Aye. That was the same year. That was the semis to get into the final. And we get a pen.
Did he say I'm thinking this or did
he? United. No, he never told anybody. So I'm in the stand. I wasn't playing. I'm in the stand, and we get the pen, and it's nothing each. And he runs up and he dinks it. And I had rage. I couldn't even imagine what the boys had and the manager. I was raging because I'm thinking it's a chance for us to get a cup final, mate. And you ran up and dinked it air the fucking bar.
Did any of you say it to him? I know you weren't in.
No, so I wasn't there at half time and that, right? So I think they left it because they knew he's still playing. Do you know what I mean? So it goes to extra time, penalties. Who's got the winning penalty? Cummins, isn't he? Runs up, to be fair to him, slots it right. We go through, laughing about it after the game and that. And I said to him, he was like, Dill, he's like, I'm not joking. He was like, I honestly thought about dinking that.
Oh no.
And I went, oh no.
Mate, he's a hero, man. I love that.
Don't tell anybody you just said that. I don't think anybody knows that, I swear. He's like, honestly, I went, mate, there's something up with you. Like, how could you do that and know the reaction that you're going to get? And then in the semi-final of a cup, when they won in penalty, you run up and dink it. But he used to call himself the Pirlo, didn't he? He's like, Pirlo, no party. He used to think he was Pirlo because he grew the long hair. So,
I love him, mate.
He's the best, mate. He's misunderstood sometimes, do you know what I mean? But
that's why I'm so glad he's doing well now, because I think like the Scottish football had it in for him as being this stupid boy, but he went away and totally redeemed his life. And
remember he hung for the lights with Dundee when they won the league?
Oh, sorry, did. Did you see him in the team hotel and Dundee won the league? Like Pakin on the manager at the time, Ross, and he's like, just want to say a few words, eh? He says, the gaffer when he signed us, he told me I'd come in and be a major part of the team, and I've been sitting with splinters in my arse ever since.
That's right, so he did. But I remember that. And then the same night he's swinging for the chandelier.
2 seconds,
I need to get
you've got training, haven't you?
Kids football training.
You want to go in, mate?
Is that alright?
Of course,
he started the Scottish Cup final.
I've got his boy.
You enjoy him.
Look at him leaving because it's the Hibs winning the cup
final, shambles.
What's wrong with you, man?
Didn't they fucking beat Hearts?
You want to ask him about the famous Scottish Cup final?
I want to know about the Scottish Cup final, Dylan. You actually started amazing, but I want to know about the build up of the week of it. Can you remember it?
Mate, I hated it.
Did you?
I hated it.
Great question, isn't it?
It's a good question. That is a good question. But so what happened was we had a good season, right? We got to I can't remember what the name of the cup was at the time, but the Mickey Mouse Cup, whatever the cup was.
Oh, like the Challenge Cup?
Aye, like one of the cups, right? Petrified, whatever it was.
That's the highlight of my career, that fucking final. You said that.
Apologies. No, I'm kidding. But we got to that final, right? We got to the playoffs and the championship at the time, because we're still in the championship. We got to the playoffs and that, and then we had the Scottish Cup final the week after. So within it was like Man U back in '99. Within the 10 days, we could have done the treble. Right. 2 cups and a promotion, right? So boys were like buzzing that. So we go. I mean, I was struggling with my groin for that season. I felt like I kept breaking down all the time. I eventually got to the bottom of it, but that season I was struggling. So I'd play a few and then pull my groin. So I played a few and then I pulled my groin before the first cup final. We get beat off Ross County, right? We were probably favourites to win that. We get beat. So the boys were like, fuck's sake. We go midweek for the playoff, the second leg of the playoff, Falkirk. They scored in the last kick of the ball, put us out.
I remember that.
Right? So within like 5 days, we'd get beaten in the cup final, we get put out we're back in the championship, and now we're playing Rangers in the Scottish Cup, and you're thinking, oh no.
And they were flying that year, weren't they?
They were flying. But see, I tried to come back in the Falkirk game. Stubbs, to be fair to Stubbs, whenever I was fit, he tried to play me because he wanted me to get on the ball. So he threw me in against Falkirk, but I wasn't ready. And before you know it, I fucking smashed something, and I felt my groin again, so I'd come off. So see that week leading into the Rangers game, I was like, I'm fucked.
What, like touch and go without your
No, I was out. Like the start of the week I was out.
Right.
I was like, I've done my groin twice in like 2 weeks. I've tried to come back and it's fucked. So Stubbsy was like, no, listen, just let it settle. I think the game's on Saturday and it was like Wednesday. He was like, come in every day. So I was in getting treatment fucking the full day.
What was he said he done to your groin to make it better?
It was a cracker, wasn't it? He loved that Stubbsy, didn't he?
So I was getting treatment all the time, and then it got a wee bit better. So I was like, fucking, maybe I have a chance here, So we went and stayed Friday night in the hotel. Saturday morning came and he pulls me just before the meeting. He's like, how do you feel? And I went, I'm going to be totally honest with you. And I'm glad I did, to be fair. I left it up to him. I was like, I'm going to be totally honest. Like, I feel alright, but I'm a bit sceptical of if I need to go on the pitch, Stubbsy, I could potentially pull my groin in the first minute. Like, if the ball comes to me and I need to smash something, I could pull it in the first minute, or I could play the full game. I genuinely don't know. Like, it feels alright, but it does that, like, it feels good, and then I pull it. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I don't want to waste, like, I don't want you to put your team and then have it to make a sub so early. Like, so it's your call. And he talks about it, like, and I said that just before the team meeting. So I think Kevin Thompson was like.
So did you not know? See, when
I didn't know I was playing.
So when he named the team, you didn't know
I
that
was
he's
playing.
playing.
I was like, I don't know if what way he's took that. And then he named the team. And
how long before the game did he name the team?
He named it just before we left the stadium. To go to the stadium, just before we left the team meeting.
Did you stay overnight that?
We stayed overnight, so that was a Saturday morning. That was the day of the game. I said that to him.
Wow.
Just before pre-match. And then he pulled me in and he went, like, he said the team, and I was in it. And honestly, I was like, fuck. It was more for my teammates and the manager, do you know what I mean?
It'd be a horrible feeling, that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I can take getting injured and that, but it was more my teammates. I was like, I don't want to let them down, like, I'm going to fucking need to come off. Do you know what I mean? And then.
Did you feel it in the warm-up or?
No, I actually felt alright, but I knew, like, I'd done it previously 2 weeks before, do you know what I mean? When I felt good, and then just reversing passes, man, I felt it again. So I knew, I was like, if I'd end up doing that, I'm going to come off. But thankfully, like, I got through it, man. It was brilliant. And then I was a part of that.
What are the memories of the game? Did you watch it?
Unbelievable.
It was a great game, wasn't it?
Amazing game.
But you remember the first goal, John McGinn's arse, right? What I said earlier, I'm shouting for the ball comes into him, and he's got two of them up his arse, right? And he's holding the two of them off, and he's fighting. And I'm facing him, I'm shouting for the ball to go to the other side.
Just to set it to you.
He wouldn't give me it, so I'm screaming for it, right? Just said it, and I'm screaming for it, and he's holding them off. And to be fair to him, one of them tries to go down that side, and he chops it, and next minute he's through, and I think he plays it to Stokes.
Yeah.
And then, you know what he does, he comes inside, and I think just puts it by the goal, and we go 1-0. That's what I was talking about earlier, but I was screaming for it, but it actually worked. And then, obviously, you know what happened after that, do you know what I mean? Like,
was that the best game of your career?
Aye, it was.
So
I didn't realise it was as big as it was. Coming from Glasgow, I didn't realise.
Where you when you get the corner?
I was back to pitch.
Right.
I was back to pitch, and then it goes in, but
Were you fucked me knackered?
I was fucked, aye.
Sorry,
there you go.
See your groin, did you feel any part of the game, fuck, I might need to come off now?
No, I felt fine. I don't know how I got, it's as if like...
It's meant to be.
It was weird, it was as if like... It was just, as you said, it was just meant to be, like I was going to get through that game. Like maybe adrenaline or something, like I was getting through that game.
So you're just standing watching that?
I was back, so see when Dave...
Behind the striker or in front of the striker?
I was in front, so see when Dave scores, see the camera, there's a picture of Dave like glancing the header and it's hitting the net, and you can see that's McGeouch 10 obviously in the back, you can see my back, I'm like facing it. But see, I've got this thing, man, see when we score late and it's like close, I don't over celebrate. I kind of go the other way, I'm like, fuck, like we kind of concede now, do you know what I mean? So I actually felt worse after we scored when we went and they kicked off again. I felt worse, I was like shitting myself. I was like, yeah, imagine they scored now. Because you know
goes through your head,
like, see all the other boys are going mental. Like there's one Hendel's got the police hat on, isn't he? Have you not seen that? No. Hendel runs over, right, and Dave Gray's in that corner, and Hendel runs over and the police and that all there, and Liam Henderson's like that with the police hat on, mate. Just like they just go mental. But I was just like, I'm like fucking like relax, man, get back, like. And
did they have any chances after that?
No, they never. No, I think we've seen it out, man.
And then final whistle and it's pandemonium.
You see Hendel, I think. He asked the ref, he's like, is that it done? Or was it John McGinn? It was John. and the ref's like, that's it. And they've got a throw in. And I think they throws it, and John just starts running. The whistle's not went yet, you'll see it.
And he said,
John starts running away, like the throw-ins out there, and John starts running away that way. And I'm like in the middle of the pitch, and then about a second goes by, the whistle goes. I mean, he must have asked him, and he's like, that's it. As soon as he throws it, that's it. So he starts just taking off, and then he throws it. And then, to be fair, Andy, I don't know if Andy spoke about it, like, but Andy, all the fans ran the pitch, and they were going mad, but I was right beside Andy, he was playing midfield, and all the fans were going mad, so they were all like jumping on us, and next minute they're jumping on, but they were like hitting Andy, like, no punching him, but they were like slapping him, the head and all that, and like, proper giving him a go.
What?
Aye, they were. So I ended up like, because I know Andy for years through Scotty and that, and I ended up beside him, and I was like kind of like trying to shoot. I was like, fucking just leave him, like just leave him. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's like just go enjoy yourself, kind of. And then eventually got him over. Like, I think the stewards and that all grabbed him and took all the Rangers players away, and then obviously enjoyed it then. Like, and my dad, to be fair, like he used to go to games, but he doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. On the pitch, there's thousands of fans in there, so I'm like kind of.
No way you bumped into your dad.
Mate, walking after that, right? And I seen him. And see, my dad's old school, right? Like, he's no cuddly. I've never cuddled him since I was a wee boy, mate. Like he doesn't, like, see if he played well now, he'd be like, you were alright. You were alright. Do you know what I mean? Like, he never, like, he's old school, right? And he's no cuddled him or anything in years. And I seen him, mate, and he come up and he's fucking grabbed me, mate.
What a feeling that must be.
That was mad.
Was he like greeting?
I can't remember if he was greeting, but I just remember that moment, mate, like just cuddling each other. Do you know what I mean? And it was the first time we'd done it in years, honestly, years.
That's brilliant.
And to see him on that pitch, mate, with all the people, do you know, he took, I probably shouldn't say this, right, but he took the grass, now they were taking the grass and the poles and the net. Mate, he took the grass, mate.
Mate, he's still got it?
He's got it at the back. He's got it at the back. I'm no joking.
But only football can do that with you and your dad.
He might get called up to the compliance officer. My dad will get a free match. But my dad took, he's like, I'm taking, so he took like a chunk of grass, mate, took it home, planted it in the back garden.
You and your dad, you used to cuddle every night, didn't you? The television.
But it's mad.
Smoking grass.
You're smoking grass.
Smoking
Easy
grass,
grass in the back garden.
Mate, they got, mate, it was like back in the 70s, mate, the horses were like charging onto the pitch.
So were you shouting yourself a wee bit?
Nah, by that point, like, we kind of got off. But the Rangers fans obviously reacted to that and jumped on the pitch. And then they were clashing, and then obviously the horses and that all come on. It was fucking madness.
How long was you on the pitch? How long were you actually on before you actually got back in the changing room?
So, I think after a couple of minutes with the fans and that, they took us back in, and we were on the dressing room, right, gone mental. And then the big police chief and that's come in, he's like, you're not getting the cup.
No way.
Swear, you're not getting the cup. Basically just hand you it in the dressing room. And they kicked up a fuss. Like, Hibs were like, no chance. Like, it's been 100 and whatever years, like, we need to go up and take the cup. And they're like, well, you're not going to run the pitch. So, you see it, we lift the cup, and then go down the stairs, and then back in. We never done the lap.
But that Sunshine on Leafy song was unbelievable.
Madness, mate. Honestly, it's
went viral, that.
Oh, it's incredible, mate. But we done that, so we had, like, obviously, we milked it because it was a big deal, do you know what I mean? We had the open bus tour a couple of days later through in Edinburgh. I think it might have been the next day. Sunday, it must have been the Sunday, doing Leaf Links. And there was a big, I can't remember the name of it, but the Grass Market kind of way, and there's a big massive park. And honestly, you couldn't see any, it was just heads, mate. It was like thousands of people, mate. There's pictures of going down Leaf. We come up the top, because we went to like this mad presentation thing, like the Edinburgh City, whatever. And they done the ring the bell and all that, and then we went on a bus. And then they took us the bus tour, and we went down Leaf. So we were up the top of Leaf and come down the hill, and there's pictures of down the hill, and the full street, mate, is just people the whole way. And
you saw Bevian?
Aye, so they didn't want us drinking and all that.
What?
So, and I'm like, we've been out all night, so I end up, John, we weren't sharing a flat this time, but John had a flat himself, so I ended up staying with him, hadn't been to sleep. We were just up all night, fucking having a laugh and that, and then we went straight to that, do you know what I mean? So we bevied anyway, and then they were like, the guy, George Craig, he was like, by the book, and he was like, no alcohol, blah, 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 and we're like, George, come on, he's like, no alcohol.
So did you know you had drink on that bus?
So we were like, the crowd.
Geezer.
Honestly, it was like fucking stone cold, man. We were like, mate, there was cans coming across it and landing on the other side of the bus and that, and people must have been, honestly, like throwing like Copperbergs and that is, and we were like catching them, trying to drink them, like just to get a drink, because you were buzzing, do you know what I mean?
How long the celebrations gone for?
Mate, they're still going on. They must have made a fortune. Who,
Hibs?
Aye. Because they did like a yearly, like
night.
Aye, like a night and stuff like that, and like all the merchandise and that they sold, like Rightly so, do you know what I mean? It was a long time. And
would that have been the best kind of weekend of your career?
Aye, easy. I went out, I'm not a big drinker, like I know, but I went out that Saturday, Sunday, and then the Monday as well. And then eventually come back to Glasgow on the Tuesday. My missus like
fuck you been?
no, she knew I was, but she was like, I've not seen you doing that before. I was like, well, it was the last game of the season, look what we've just done. And honestly, like, we went in Nando's on the Monday morning, right, when it opened up, and it was like, Dawn of the Dead. It was like, there was like one worker, and we're like, what's happening? And there was like plates everywhere, like there was no workers, and the guys like, honestly, like 95% of my staff are phoned up, like, sick, like, no coming in. Like, honestly, Edinburgh just turned upside down. Never spent a penny the whole weekend.
So
anywhere we went,
for free?
Everything, mate. See, anywhere we went, are they 3 days? Any night, a nightclub or bar or anywhere, taxis, anywhere, no taking your money. No taking your money. Do you know what I mean? So you're like, fucking hell, this is mad. Like, I honestly, because you grew up in Glasgow, Celtic, won all the time. Like, we used to get the cup and then you'd have a wee function at Parkhead and then boys would just go home. Do you know what I mean? Like, a few would go out, but like, majority of the time you just go home because you know you've got a game coming up. So when you find out that, do you know what I mean? When you go through to Edinburgh and you know how big a deal, like stories like the guy coming up to me and stuff like that, like even still now, like, I just want to shake your hand, like my granddad or my dad or something like that was a massive Hibs fan. He never got to see it. He never got to see Hibs onto the cup. See, as soon as we won it, I went straight up to the graveyard. Me and my dad, honestly, see stories like that. Like,
didn't realise how much it
honestly, mate, I get goosebumps thinking about it. Like, me and him had a drink and that. That's the first thing I done as soon as we got back to Edinburgh and all that. And like, you don't realise what it actually meant to people, do you know what I mean?
Amazing.
That's amazing. I know you grew up obviously a Celtic fan, but see with your time at Hibs, is that your favourite time playing football?
Aye. I've got, obviously, the debut and the goal and stuff like that, Celtic, that's huge, I mean, because we're Celtic fans, we grew up, as I said before, like, we done everything, do you know what I mean, we're Celtic daft, but actually me playing football, that was my best spell, like, I enjoyed, do you know what I mean, because I was playing every week, I was confident.
Good football as well,
it was good football. The fans were buying into it, like, they enjoyed watching it. They still speak about it now, do you know what I mean, like, that team, like, they enjoyed watching that team, do you know what I mean, playing, so. I
remember, was it the game before, or maybe a couple of weeks before the final, there was a sunshine on Leith at Easter Road. Aye. And did you beat Hearts?
We beat Hearts 2-0.
And you've done the lap. That was
brilliant.
Mate, honestly, see when it was done right like that, it was incredible.
Goosebumps, was it?
Aye. Paul Hanlon and Louis Stevenson's testimonial dinner thing. We all went to it. We had a big table and stuff like that. Proclaimers come on, sung all the songs, mate, like a concert. It was fucking unbelievable.
That's brilliant.
Honestly, it was
that was
mad.
good. He used to do it.
Man, what did you get paid enough for it?
You and your brother, that was good.
And then Sunderland, mate. How did that come
about?
Got to
Sunderland. So I knew I was leaving the season. We went up, and then obviously I said I kept breaking down that, like with Lenny and stuff like that, and then they were like, listen, you want to move on, kind of thing. So
did you know what to leave Hibs?
No, I didn't want to leave. No, sorry, this is the season before I left eventually. Right. So I had 1 year left, and Lenny and that were like to my agent. Well, my agent phoned me and was like, listen, they kind of want you to go. Like, if you can find a club, you can go.
Why? Because of injuries?
Just for injuries, mate. I couldn't get a run of games going. I just kept breaking down. But it was a travelling. We got to the bottom at the end. It was a travelling. I was travelling from Glasgow to Edinburgh every day, sitting an hour and a half out, an hour and a half back, and it was killing my hips, my groins. So I, to be fair, they were probably right. I was breaking down, do you know what I mean? And they were like, move on. But I didn't really have anything. And I said to my agent, I was like I'm not leaving. Like, I've just won the cup, do you know what I mean, the year before. Like, I know if I can get going, I can play. And we just went into the Premier League as well, so I was like, I'll stay. And then I moved through with John, got a flat, best thing I'd done because I was resting right, I wasn't driving as much, and then got a good run of games, do you know what I mean?
What's he like as a flatmate?
He's a lazy bastard, man.
Is he?
Aye. But that's when Fortnite came out, remember? Like, Fortnite, I know the wee guys putting it right, but that just came out and everybody was going mad for it, so I would sit in the living room, right, playing Fortnite, he would go straight in, sit in his room, and he would play it in there, so me and him would play together. I swear. Exclusive for you, by the way, but he'd sit in his room playing Fortnite. I'd be playing, we'd talk to each other for the night. Just because we could play together. Do you know what I mean? And we'd come in for training.
Who'd cook?
I was a cook. I cooked. He never cooked anything, mate. He never cooked anything. But.
Would you come in for training and sit down?
No, we'd come in, we'd twos go for a sleep, mate. Honestly, I think, now you've got kids now, you think, how did I live like that? Like, we'd come straight in for training, we'd be like, oh, I'm knackered. Into bed for about an hour and a half. No, in a nap, mate, it was a sleep. We went for a sleep, right? Curtains, everything done. It was like a sleep. We'd wake up, fancy Nando's. Let's go to Nando's. So we had like Monday club and that. We actually had like fucking group chats and that, Monday club and that. Right, who's up for the night? 6 o'clock. We'd meet at the Nando's. We'd have that. Come straight home. We'd maybe go to Starbucks, something, sit and get a tea and that, mess about.
Brilliant.
And then we'd come home, play Fortnite till about fucking 12 o'clock at night.
That's the best thing about
that was it, mate. And then see every Saturday, to be fair, if we won, we were out.
Quite right.
Every weekend, because the boy George ran Shanghai and like Le Mans and that, he was like, every Saturday we won, there'll be a table put aside for you. I know it's probably bad, like
no,
nights like that, right?
But it was like, bad.
Lenny was up for it. See if we had the days off, see if we were off, the Sunday, Monday, whatever, the Sunday, and we'd won, fucking go enjoy yourself. All I would say was like, don't do it in daft.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you in jail, but go enjoy yourself. So every Saturday we'd win. As soon as he finished his speech, the music's pumping, and we know we're going to, do you know what I mean? It was class. Honestly, what a time, man.
So how was Sunderland down? Because the club was in a bit of a mess at that time.
It was, mate. It was. So I went there and it's a huge club, mate, do you know what I mean? But it's one of the ones
you still smell Kev's arse?
It was good, mate. It's a massive club, do you know what I mean? As soon as I knew there, and then Jack Ross went, so I was like Scottish manager, like you know my game and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? So on the basis of everything, it was a good move. It was a good move because see if we went up, we get beaten the last kick of the ball in the playoff final.
So he's did that.
So see if we went up into the championship, I think it would have suited me better.
Yeah.
Like
League One's
if you know what I mean, League One's a slog sometimes. Like you go to Wickham away and stuff like that, and it's like the ball's just in there all day. Whereas the championship teams are a bit more respectful, like it's a bit more chessy and that, do you know what I mean? Like so that would have suited me better. So I think the fact we never went up, it killed me a bit personally, like for getting a good run at the games. But I went there and there was boys on like 30 grand a week.
What's that?
Aye, still in League One, mate.
You can just say Aidan was on 30 grand a week.
No, he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. But like there was boys that are on like good money, do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm coming down from Scotland, obviously trying to play, but when it comes down to it, like if there's boys there on crazy money and
they're playing
and it's a toss up, you know what people upstairs are like, it's like, well, why are we paying in that money, do you know what I mean? You need to be playing and pushing it. So I'm not saying that's the only reason it never worked out, but there was things like that, do you know what I mean? It was hard to kind of get against, and then League One that kind of never suited me.
Did you enjoy it at all though when you were
I did, mate. I did enjoy it. Aye, it's a good training ground and it's a massive club. The fans are passionate, everything about it. It's just we were unlucky. Do you know what I mean? We got to a cup final, one of the cup finals against Portsmouth, get beaten Pens, and then the playoff final, we get beat the last kick of the, like literally the last kick of the ball, and they took kick off and the final whistle went.
Did you get to use that was it sauna that Martin Bain used every day?
I did use the sauna, but I found out there was a cryo chamber thing, the ice thing, but they shut it off. The guy came in, the new owners come in, they were like, listen, like...
Because that was the one, Martin Bain was the only guy using it.
We found out who's using it, and it was like one guy, and it was like Martin Bain, they were like, was 30 grand a month to run it, and they're like, no, that's got to go.
That's unreal, isn't it?
So, that's what we're up against, but...
And then Aberdeen, mate, Derek McKinnon, Stephen Glass, Jim Goodwin, bit of unsettled time when you were there, because have you maybe went in when Dale was first in the job, flying, it was kind of towards the end of Dale's
I think the new owner came in, I think Dave Cormack came in, and Stuart Milne kind of stepped aside, and yeah, it was near the end of his kind of time, and I went up, mate, and to be fair, I had a couple of games, and I felt good, like, I think I got a man of the match a few times in that, and felt good, and then COVID hit, so we were off for a good bit. I had my wee one, and we went back into it, empty stadiums and that, and it just...
Weird.
It was weird, mate, it was weird, like, just couldn't get a good run at it. There was a lot of chopping and changing. Fergie was up there, obviously, who played, like, that was like Jamesy Forrest with Lenny, it was like, Dale loved Fergie. To be fair,
was he good?
He was a good player. He scored a lot of goals. He was a big threat. Like I was playing, do you know what I mean? But he played every game. So beside him, it was like it was me and another like 3 boys. So you would play a couple, get a bad result, you're out.
Yeah.
Back of the queue. So you're waiting. You're playing every 6 weeks. Do you know what I mean? It was just like stop start all the time. And then obviously Glass came in, which was good. Like his training, that was good. Like he first came in for the last 4 games or something, and I played like as a sitter. And I enjoyed it, I loved it.
Because he wanted to pop it a bit,
He wanted to pop it, mate. It was like a 4-3-3. We used to watch the England games because they played 4-3-3, and he's like, this is how I play. He's like, if you give the ball away, I'll take the blame.
Do you like that though?
I loved it. I loved it. But something changed there this summer. Like, I don't know. Like when he first came in, he was all over me, like he loved it. Like he was like, you're playing there, number 6, get on the ball, blah, blah. Summer came, and then obviously Bruni came in. So Bruni was going to play there. And my space was up really, do you know what I mean? Like he didn't really see me as one of the higher ones, so I was kind of put to the side, and then when Bruni wanted a rest, I would come in
That's the worst though, mate. I hate that. was like me and Tom at Dundee, mate. Whenever Tom went to the rest, I'd get fucked up. You get miles.
But then I wouldn't play for about 8 weeks, right? And then I'm sitting in the cold, like it's like you train all day, but see, even though playing, you don't feel right.
No.
So Rangers at Ibrox would come up and it'd be like, right, Bruni's dropping into a back three, like
you're in,
and Dylan's in. So I've not played in about 8 weeks now, and I'm like, right, through into Ibrox. To be fair, we actually done alright. I think we drew with them, and then we beat Hearts at home. Do you know what I mean? Like we kind of got it going a wee bit. And then, but whenever there was a change, I was the one, do you know what I mean? Like, because Fergie was playing higher, Bruni was playing, and maybe like Hedges or something, or Scott Wright, like, no, not Scott Wright, I think he went before, but like Hedges or something, attackers, more, because I was a sitter, the same as Bruni, do you know what I mean? So he was like, it was just personnel really, I think, it just kind of, it never really worked out.
What was Bruni like?
It was good, mate. Like, I played with Bruni, obviously, at Celtic.
Was it different for Celtic, no playing-wise, but about the place?
Nah, he was still like...
Still lively?
He was still lively in that, but I think he was just kind of trying to find that, he was at a balance between, he was in the coaching meetings,
right,
and then he was a player. So
that's hard, that, isn't it?
He was kind of finding the balance, but it never really affected him. You wouldn't really notice, but you could just tell, like, when he was at Celtic, he was just fucking constantly funny and like, do you know what I mean, character. Aberdeen he would be, but then sometimes you had to be a bit more serious, do you know what I mean, with like the coaching side of things and that. So it was a wee bit different, but nothing major, really.
Who you type with? Johnny Hayes and that? Your type with McGinnon?
I was, John McGinnon and that. Boy Gary Woods at like Falkirk, Kilmarnock. But Niall and that, I was quite close with them. I spent most of my time with them.
Good lads.
He's a good lad.
Listen, if he doesn't get a club, then
come back.
This is a career thing, mate. Outstanding.
I might need to, by the way.
There's the man you're replacing. Just go and sit in
that. Sit there, is it? We'll say back in there.
But Dylan McGeouch, absolutely outstanding.
Don't worry,
we'll sign him for Broomhill if
viewers can thank me for getting him on and on, so not a problem.
You pest him every day on Instagram, man.
Every day. You patched him for 2 months.
Oh,
mate, see, since
no, I mean, it'll just missed it. It's just missed each other.
See, since I've come on and go, I've never had them doing right. Message everybody going like that, right? You can't
come on,
I will come up.
See if you get that pool.
And nobody ever comes.
But that's Becky the last time, remember? I said I'll definitely do it. Like if I'm in Glasgow, because I only moved in a few weeks ago. I was starting Aberdeen in the summer. But if I moved in, I'm here. I'll definitely do it.
Are you in Thursday, Livingston on Thursday?
Back in the morning, Tuesday, and then Thursday, Friday.
I might pop in.
Aye.
Come up, drive up with you.
What, you're just gonna patch your pupils at Boca? You've taken all that money off to go and watch Livingston.
Hey, if you're not getting paid for it,
fucking right. A good experience to come home and tell the kids about Martindale, isn't it? It's like that experience. So I might miss Thursday night and all. So we'll see how we go.
If it doesn't work at Livingston, Broomhill.
Nah, you never know in football, eh?
Be brilliant.
Oh, he'd be perfect
Player
for us, wouldn't he? Player coach as well, game coach and not.
Brendan Rodgers, isn't it?
Brendan Rodgers.
Rodgers out. Player coach. Now player coach.
Dylan McGeouch.
Unbelievable. What a legend.
Thank you.